Good morning, everyone.
Hello.
How are you? Welcome to our first ever simulcast of a hands-on class. And so we're here at the Moores Sewing Center in Brea, California. My name is George. This is Kathy Brown from Sewing Tech Talk. And we got a group of wonderful customers here. You heard the noise. And they're excited because today we're going to do thread play on the Baby Lock Applaud, which we've determined is not a serger, right?
No, it's not.
Did I turn my mic on?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. We have determined because it does so much more. It kind of breaks the barrier. It's not a serger. Baby Lock calls it a creative top cover stitch. That's kind of okay, but it doesn't expound what's going on because this breaks the barriers. A person who is an embroidery enthusiast will love this product. A person that quilts will love this product. And of course, some of the garment sews. So a creative fabric surface embellishment extravaganza. I don't know.
If you tried, you could throw a couple more adjectives.
It's just so awesome. And I love that we're going to be working with all kinds of threads and braids, right?
Oh, yeah.
All kinds of stuff. Okay.
All kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff.
So we're going to be on for 3 hours. It will seem like 5 minutes. We're gonna have so much fun. Okay. And so my crowd here is in our local customers, which is being a family business. They're like my family, right? Yeah. I've known a lot of you for a lot of years, back when I didn't have gray hair and I didn't have a waistline. And so, but one thing, what is it that we like to do at events? We like to have fun. Okay. So we like to go do crazy things. So they're going to see online that we're going to be nuts. Okay. So I have a prize. Okay. This prize is a pair. That's one.
It's a pair of scissors.
But there's only one.
That's just the English language.
A singular pair of Ginger G10 dressmaker shears. These are Ginger. This is up there in quality. It actually, I was looking online and it retails for $64.99. And so here's how it's going to work. Okay. I'm going to give away a prize here. And then online on virtual land, you're going to be able to win this if you like, share, and comment. And by the time I give away the next prize, which you're going to count on our team of customers here, because the more excitement they have, the more things that we want to show you. Because every time we come up here and do a demonstration, then I'm going to give away another prize. So before I announce that other prize, we're going to announce the winner online. See how that works? So we're a team. Nationwide, we're a team to give prizes away. So where did I put the drawing ticket?
Right there.
Right here. Okay. I told everybody it's right here. Okay. So let's see. You excited? Marlene Peterson.
Marlene!
All right, here we go. Congratulations. All right. So as we mentioned, this is the Baby Lock Applaud, and I want to give it over to Kathy Brown because I sent her an Applaud right when it came out.
Right when it came out.
Okay, and I didn't hear from you for about 3 weeks.
No, because I was in my sewing room.
Yes, and she made some most incredible samples, and she brought them here. So we're going to start with there. I'm going to go and man one of the cameras. Are we good with that?
We're good with that.
All right, and then we'll do a trunk show, and then we'll do a little presentation on the special offer that we have on the models right here. So got it?
Got it. Awesome. I got it. I got the con. That's what they say in Star Trek, isn't it? I got the con. Whatever. I don't know. I'm not a Trekkie. So hello. So I brought a whole bunch of fun stuff. I didn't bring everything, but a whole bunch of fun stuff. I love this machine. This machine, it just kind of takes it to the next level. So I brought a lot of fun stuff to show you. Some of it's on the wall. We're going to pass around some stuff. That sound good, right? Yeah, but I'm going to show you how I did a lot of that stuff too. I think first and foremost, out of the gate, I'm going to pick up this little guy, this little purse here, right? So this is basically just a purse made out of woven belt loop strips, right? You think belt loop, belt loop, what's that for? But with that decorative cover stitch on the top, it takes it to the next level. And I want you to see the flowers. See the flowers? Guess what? I made the flowers on the Applaud, which is some threads I had lying around. I made my own cord to crochet. right? Is this machine a virtual? You guys are virtual. Is this a versatile machine? I think so, right?
All right, can we pass that around?
Absolutely. Thank
All
you,
right, so-
George.
Thanks, Cheryl.
Another couple little things. We have the ability, George said, to put some cords on in, right?
That's one of my favorite samples.
It's one of the
right
fun.
there.
I do like it. And I put the zipper in with it. So just taking it bag to the next level, right? Marlene, I showed me some bags this morning. This is just taking it to the next level. So what fun. And even the cord here on the zipper pull, made all that on the Applaud. Pretty cool. I'll let you pass that around as well, George. Home decor. Oh my goodness. I had so much fun with this.
Can you have more than one favorite?
Yes, you can. That's like children.
I've got 3
They're just
favorites.
slightly
I like
different
that.
favorites. Yep. Right?
These pillows don't talk back.
That's true. And you don't have to send them to college. So this, and you can't, and I messed up, right? This is an applique. So I did black on black, which doesn't make any sense at all. But it is an applique. And I did, because we have that thread going back and forth on the top, you can do an applique with this machine, right? So I'm going to pass this around. Got to put that around. And here's another fun one. I don't know if we can see this good on the camera, but quilters, right? When I quilt, I like a little texture on there. I don't know about you guys. So the quilt behind me at the Reach for the Stars, I'll pass this around so that you can see it. I did some like extra stitching on some of the fabric before I put it together. And then over the top of the seams, what I did is I did some metallic thread. Who has ever got metallic thread, right? And you know, metallic thread has a death wish, right? Right? And sometimes it's a little, this machine loves it. So all those metallic threads you bought, throw them in the wipers. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Really get a really cool effect. I'm going to put that down there. I know I got off camera for a little bit, but that's okie dokie. And I've done several sewing tech talks on this machine. And for each one of those, I have a handout. One of them is this fun, basic one that you can start out with, reversible placemats, because the stitching on the back, we'll talk about that as well today, can be just as pretty as the stuff on the front. So,
and we're going to show you, we made the past videos more accessible for Sewing Tech Talk. I'm going to show you that.
So you get to be the first receiver of all the stuff as we go around. Now, this one's kind of fun. All the local people know we do Road to California every year, right? I fair to say that's your biggest show, yes? Yep. Fair to say that's your bigger show. And when we do that, we do samples. We stitch out the embroidery machine samples, right? So I'm kind of a scrapper, basically.
What, you're what?
A scrapper.
Oh, okay.
I'm a scrapper. So we were packing up one of the 5 semis from Road to California. And see the giraffe in the middle that's embroidered? Someone had thrown it in the trash. I know, right? So as the scrapper in me picked it out of the trash, I said, I know what to do with that. So I took it home, and look at all the fun stuff I embellished on the Applaud just to take that giraffe to the next level.
So let's look at this. So you did this, the lines too. You did the lines?
Yeah.
Right here?
Well, no, actually, there's a missed opportunity, George. I have to confess.
You should have.
I did those.
I would have done that.
I did these lines on the sewing machine, but I should have done them with the chain stitch on the Applaud.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I should have, but
Okay, when are you going to get another sample?
No hurry, no rush. Okay. And another fun one, and I've brought some stuff. I have brought some samples that are I wish I had the Applaud for that sample, right? So do you see the cape in the back? See this cape in the back? Can I come back here? Is that okay? See this cape in the back, right? I did video with that. And what that is the back, the interlocking threads on the back of the cover stitch, right? So I had to sew this upside down because I could only use the back threads when I was using the cover stitch, right? But now I could have done it on the top and added extra fun stitches in there. Wouldn't that have been much cooler and easier? This garment. Actually, I had to do this backwards and upside down because I could only use the decorative part of the interlocking threads on the back of the chain and cover stitch. Now I can do them on the top and on the back too.
And one of the things that I'm going to show a little later is reversing as you go. So both top and bottom show at the same time. Yeah. And it really enhances what
I'm going to make reversible fabric now because Oh my gosh. And then this is one of my, this was kind of fun. If you go to Costco, right? You go to Costco, at the holidays, they have that big ribbon display, right? So these are just Costco ribbons butted up next to each other and done and sewn with that stitch like in between them. And then you embellish more on the top of them. So it's taking something, yeah, there you go. So see, it's kind of like that extra stitch there. I use the stitch in the ditch insert. We'll talk about that in a little bit. All kinds of fun, different things. My last favorite, and we could show a lot of this extra, and I hope George can see this so that you can see it on the camera.
Hold on.
He's coming. He's doing a good job.
There we go, I think.
Look at you.
I got what I pay for on this camera.
You are amazing. Okay.
There we go.
This is a belt loop. Remember I talked about those belt loops earlier? I love to make purses, but the handles, not so much, right? So this is that belt loop, a wide belt loop, and then I did extra stitching on either side to create, and I'm going to pass this around. It's a beautiful, beautiful purse handle, or it could be a guitar strap or anything like that. So I'll pass this around. I had so much fun. I have so many projects that I need to finish. Who has a UFOs, or what do you call them? UFOs? Some people call them pigs. You know what that is? Projects in grocery sacks.
I love that one. I love that one.
Okay. So now I'm looking through all of those. And why do we stop those? Because we kind of lose inspiration a little bit, right? Now I'm digging all those out, and I'm adding this cool stitch and all the different variations of it. I'm adding it to that. So I've talked quite a bit, and I'm going to show most of this again as we go. So you want to take it over, George? Are you good?
Actually, I would like to real quickly get a close-up of the machine in action.
Okay.
And so I've got another camera in my back pocket.
Well, I'm not quite threaded up yet.
Oh, well, there we go.
So can we do the action shot in a little bit?
Do you have yours threaded? Okay, so what we'll do is, why don't you thread it up for them, and then do that, and then at that point I'll tell them about the special. I want them to see the difference.
Okay.
This is not, ladies and gentlemen, this is not a serger. And it's something so unique. There's several patents on this that make this so crazy good that you just got to have, okay? And I don't care if you have 10 sergers, you need the 11th, because this is not a serger, right? I don't care if you, actually, what's that? Stand on the X, okay. They're reminding me that, see, I've been known to wander and walk around. All right, we got another prize. So let me get a prize, okay? We're gonna give away another pair of scissors. But first, I owe it to people online to announce the winner. So I'm gonna grab the winner and do another drawing. So
George, can everybody here thread up while I'm threading up mine?
Yeah.
You okay with that? Okay, so I'm gonna go into that. Is that okay? All right, you guys ready? Okay, we're going to talk about that a little bit, and I'm going to do it from back here. Mostly people see me because you can see me up there as well, yes? And you can see me there, right? Okay, so now look on the bed of your machine. On the bed of your machine, you have a little felt square with some stitching on it. That is the basis for the stitch that we're going to be doing. That is the wide cover stitch, okay? You can look at the top of it, look at the back of it, and you recognize this stitch, do you not? Because it's the one at the bottom of all your knits and all that kind of fun stuff.
Can I interrupt you?
Absolutely.
I want to introduce Cheryl so people online know that you have your own guided, creative, what would you go? Consultant. There we go. So Cheryl, and I think the camera was over here, never used this product until yesterday. You are an embroidery enthusiast, okay? And so we have a camera on here and also on what she's doing, so you there out online can see what's going on. So hold up your sample right here, what you made yesterday. Isn't that amazing? That was first time sitting down.
Thread. Cotton.
And so that's what's really exciting. So anyway, Cheryl will be your best friend. She'll give you a close-up view of what's going on when we do it. So now as they're doing this, I want to give away a prize. But first, I want to announce the winner of the first prize. And so it's on, we have both YouTube and Facebook watching. So On YouTube, the winner is Marianne Duploy. Bottom, what is that?
Raise your hand out there, Marianne, if we pronounced it
That sounds
right.
okay. Okay, so you know who you are. I can't read the writing on this here. D-U-P-L, is that E-G-A? Yes, Duplega. Okay, so you're on YouTube. We're going to send you make an announcement who won, and just you're going to email customer service at moors-so.com because you won and to claim the prize. And so we're going to go back and forth between YouTube and Facebook, maybe. Who knows? It's random. So don't go from one site to the next if you're online. I see you. I know the comments. So we're going to give away another one here locally, but also that means we're going to give another one out there. See how this is going to work? Okay, because I just did a blooper, and that means I give away prize. So don't be watching for bloopers, okay? All right, so now. The winner here, Elaine Hirsch. Elaine Hirsch, we got you a winner. Congratulations. There we go. And so that means online, like, share, or comment, and before the next one, we'll do that. Did I buy you some time? Did you get set up?
No, we're going to all thread together. We're going to thread together, if that's okay, George.
All right.
Okay, we're going to thread together. Okay. Okay, so now, pick out one of your current new favorite threads from your basket, right? A cotton one would be a good first choice because it's not frayed on the ends, okay? And on the back of your Applaud, you'd have two places right here to the left and the back on your machine just to place a spool of thread. The cool thing about this machine is it don't matter which side you pick. It's all good because it's going to flow back and forth when we do that stitch. The left's going to be the right and the right's going to be the left. It's all good. So take that spool of thread, sit it back there on that little spool holder discs that we put back there. Now you're going to pull the thread directly up, and there's from the telescoping thing right up here. You see directly on up here. There's a little fuzzy thing in there, right? I think that's a Baby Lock exclusive. That takes the twist out of the thread. That takes the twist out of the thread before it comes down to do the business, right? So you go up there. Now let's come to the front of the machine.
Okay. So we're going to switch to the view so you can see it there, and I have it for online here. So.
Okay, cool. Okay, so on the front of the machine.
So Cameron, can you switch the I'm on, I know, but they want to see it on the projector. No, but the customers here need to see the view. Yeah.
It's coming.
See?
Yay!
Okay.
So look at the front of your receipt. See where I have my hand on the front of the machine, right? There's two little slots right there, okay? Choose, if you put it on the right-hand side, choose the right one. Just bring that thread down from the telescoping guide on the top, come straight down, and right here on the top, there's a little thing you're going to click in like you're flossing your teeth. So just click on into that.
Now, Kathy, questions yesterday, they were asking about this little part
Let's tell you about that. And do you see the little thing, the little guides to either side? We're not going to be using those in class. But if you're using a very large, very fun thread, like maybe a 6-weight or an 8-weight or something like that, you'd bypass and come through there. That's just a guide for your big, big, big fun threads. So you're going to come straight down that slot. There's a little silver hook right down here. Just go into that.
Sorry.
It's right there, right? And then we're just going to come over to the left and see this. Can you see this area right here, this little bar, right? Kind of like a sewing machine would look. You come over and down. There's no take-up lever there, but it kind of looks like a sewing machine. We're mostly familiar with that, right? So you're going to come down there. And I call this the ski slope. There's a little guide, a little silver thing coming on down there. Lay the thread there, and on the very bottom of it, you can kind of click it into that guide. It's just a guide to help it flow into the wipers on the thing. Now we're going to come down to the foot, and this is a very cool, unique foot. This is where we're going to do all the fun stuff. So on the very front of the foot, let me get this a hand so that you can see, everybody can see. So you see at the toe of your foot, there's like a little tunnel. There's a little guide, right? Let's put the thread straight in that from the front to the back.
Trying not to get this in your face.
I know, it's all good. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, so take that through there. Now I am going to just take my take my fabric out. You can leave your felt on there. It's all good. Now, has everyone got through there? Yes? Yep. Okay. Now look by the needles on either side of the foot. Do you see those like their little ears, right? Those are the little wipers. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our thread and we're going to put it on either one. It does not matter. We're just going to put the thread in through there. If you need to, you can raise your foot up to get a little bit more clearance. If you need to, you have tweezers in your basket to help you grab it.
And I have to tell you, it's a lot easier to do this when you don't have a video camera in your face.
I should be used to that.
If you only saw where my phone is.
I should be used to that. It's
all right,
all
I'll
good.
get out of your way.
No, you're good. You're good. Okay, so we're just going to do the one to practice with right now, right? So it should look just like this.
Okay, so you just have one thread.
I just have the one thread in there. And you can do this with just one thread or two threads. It's all good.
Okay.
All right. So how are we doing out there in hands-on land?
We have the 2 white threads as well, right?
The 2 white threads that's fine.
Yeah.
Those 2 white threads are that's the basics. That's the basis of our stitch. That's the cover stitch.
Yeah.
Okay?
We thought we'd just keep that as the basics and you do all the stuff with the embellishment thread.
Right. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to stitch a little bit and we're not going to engage that decorative thread for a second because I want to show you how to do that. Are you all good with that? Okay. You find your power pedal on the bottom, right? And your presser foot lever is to the right. Make sure your presser foot lever is down and just sew me about 1 inch if you would.
So you can see that you didn't engage that.
I didn't.
Yet.
I haven't engaged anything
Okay.
yet.
That was a technique you taught me yesterday.
So whenever I do add a decorative thread, I do stitch that basic cover stitch first, and then I add that decorative thread on there. So you ready to play with the decorative thread? Okay. If you look down below, woo! If you look down below, let me see if I can do it for both people. So if you look down below, there's a little, just to the right of the needle, there's a little lever with a red circle. You see that? Okay. Take that and pull it towards you and up. What that does is that engages our wipers. So they get to play. So they come to the party. All right, so if you've engaged that up, sew me about 1 inch, or maybe just a few stitches. Look at that going back and forth. You might want to hold your thread off to the side a little bit, kind of like let me see if I can show you that. See if you can see, can you see on the screen? See, we're holding it off to the side just a little bit, kind of like a horsey rein. And then just sew till and it's going to catch. Does that make sense? Okay, so now this machine is unique, and I love some of these features. This machine has a needle up and needle down. And if you look straight up here, right here, that little button with a little green light to the right of it is needle up and needle down. Oh my goodness, I've wanted that forever. So touch that and make your needles go all the way down. We all there? Cool. Now, see this thread up here, that thread that I added? Right? This is just the loose end of it. And it is annoying me. I want to get rid of it. And I'm sure you do too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise my presser foot with my needles down. And this little treasure, this is how you change needles. It's your Allen wrench, right? But it's a super valuable tool with this machine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it directly behind the needles so it's almost even touching them. And what's going to happen is going to catch that top thread. Easy for me to say. It's going to, there. And it's going to pull it underneath into the back.
I like that. I would usually just let it stitch through it. I don't know where it goes.
So if you don't pull it to the back, you could just stitch it down, right? And we don't want that. So we'll get to practice that when we add our next thread. All right.
Okay.
All good? No? I'll have an angel come help you.
Yeah.
We have angels to help.
Angels.
We have class angels. All right. So now if you have that, all of you guys that have that, stitch on your little felt square. Hit the power pedal. What happens? Is it going? No, because you probably have your presser foot still up. Lower your presser foot and woohoo!
That saves so much.
It saves so much time. And here's the magic of this. And I wish I had an asterisk to put on there. What you don't know is this machine will stitch off. A lot of machines won't. So just keep stitching when you come to the end and just stitch it on off. Just keep going. And you'll make a tail, and it's not going to look that attractive, but that don't matter. It's all good.
Yeah. And that's only with one.
That's only with one. We're going to add the next one. Okay, so and then leave yourself, whenever you're sewing, leave yourself about a 5 or 6 inch tail on both pieces. You'll thank me later.
Yep.
All right, so there is my little stitch, but it looks like with my pink thread on red. Okay. And then I think we're seeing Cheryl's. We saw Cheryl's too. Okay, cool. So there it is. Now, there's something that I can do to change this. Mine are kind of far apart, aren't they? That might be a cool look.
Cheryl's look better than yours.
Well, Cheryl's did look better than mine. Thank you for saying that, George. So if you look down on your machine, underneath the bed of the machine, you'll see a knob. Okay, see this knob? It's the large lower knob, so it does the length. LLL. So take it, and you're going to want to turn it to like a 2 or something like that. Do not go all the way down to the very bottom, because we'll need a finer thread for that, right? So do that. Now, here's the cool thing. This, once again, not a serger, right? But if you look before we put that fabric on there, do you see there's feed dogs coming way out to the front, right? So this machine is going to pull that in. So if I put my fabric up there, or you put your felt square up there, you just put it right there, and the machine's going to pull it in. You don't have to kind of put it in there, shove it in there, or anything like that. It's going to pull it in. So if you do that, the machine's going to find it and gently pull it on in. How's that? Are we coming to the end of our felt square? So we can add the next thread, right? Okay. Find your second favorite color. And I'm just going to stitch right off. Mine looks better now.
I like it closer together.
Now remember, leave yourself a big long tail. Look, that's a little bit better, right?
More better.
More better. We haven't even added the second thread yet. Now I'm going to add a metallic thread. You may have one of those in your basket. In fact, I'm pretty much guaranteed that you do. So this is a Madeira
Glamour, I believe.
Glamour. It's a 12 weight. Yes, you can use heavier. Yes, you can use lighter. This machine is super tolerant for just about all the threads you ever would want to use. Those ones that are kind of touchy on other machines, this machine is going to lap them up. Okay, so now we're going to thread this one, and we're going to do it together. It's not going to be a pop quiz. So we're going to take that spool of thread and put it on your empty other spool.
You notice what we have here. We have the caps. So
Yes. And then notice we have caps on the bottom for it to sit on. The machine comes with all kinds of different thread support, different devices. These are caps to hold a spool like this. You also have caps you can put on the top. So all the different configurations, the machine comes with all that stuff that you need to do that. So if we have our thread on that spool cap, the support, go straight up to the other telescoping thing that you haven't done before, right? There's going to be one empty one. Oops. Make sure your thread flows. Ask me how I know.
Thread happens.
Thread happens. And then we're going to come down. You remember how we did it. You guys are smart. You come on down to the other empty slot. Snap it into the other empty slot. Now the thread's going to go on a date with the other thread. And it's going to come down here, and it's going the exact same path that the other one did, up and down to what I call the ski slope.
Can I point something out, Kathy?
Yes, you can.
I want you to see that the part the cover stitch function
Mhm.
is completely
Completely
separate from
separate.
this. So they really thought through the engineering. That's what this
Mhm.
was
Mhm.
patented because of that.
Yeah, and that, yeah, it's just how they come up with this is just amazing me. The sewing engineers should be getting Nobel prizes, but I don't think they do. Anyway, okay, so now
I'd vote for them.
I'd vote for it. Okay, so now I have my thread coming down. You have it in the slot, the guide on the bottom of your ski slope, right? Okay, now here's one thing I want to point out to you. See how my wipers are kind of engaged crisscross like that, right? Remember when we put this little lever up to make them go? Well, we can put that down at any time. So remember where that lever is? Take that lever and slide it down, and look what happens. Magic. They open up so that they're easy to get to.
Another thing I learned.
So
I need to watch your videos.
you should watch the videos more, George. So anyway, so we're going to take this thread, and it's good. Remember, these threads are in a committed relationship so far. They're dating. You're going to take this thread, put it through that same guide on the toe of the foot, and you're going to put it in the one wiper slot that you don't have a thread in yet. Easy peasy.
So
Do they go behind that little bar, which is right above the needle?
One more time.
Do they go behind the bar?
they do not. That's for the threads that are stitching it down. So the bar that's right behind the needle. So, yeah, I heard that question.
Thank you. I didn't.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I want to show you that same trick again because it's a super valuable trick. We disengaged our wipers, right? So you guys are doing your table runner today. And if you want pretty fun stuff on the edge of your table runner, easy threads to bury, this is a cool trick that I learned. I'm going to take my fabric, raise my presser foot, and put the fabric up close to those needles and lower my presser foot. I'm going to take a couple stitches just using the cover stitch onto that fabric. Or in your case, when we play with your table runner, onto your table runner.
And that's because you disengaged that little,
because I disengaged that.
little piece back there, right?
Right. I disengaged this little guy.
Okay.
Now, here's the trick for your table runner. When you do that, you have all just loose threads to bury, and it's going to be easy, right? If you had all these threads put together, because you can make cording on this machine, which is pretty cool. I'll show you that in a little bit. But we want loose threads are easier to bury. Now, when we start any decorative thread, hopefully you can see it now. I'm just going to take this thread. Remember, this is the one that hasn't been engaged yet, the one we just added. And I'm just going to hold it to the side, kind of loose horsey reins. Okay, you got that? Okay, then I'm going to engage the wipers. And then I'm going to start sewing. And it's going to catch. Right? Now I have, with my needles down, I take my super useful Allen wrench, raise my presser foot, stick this behind, and that other thread will just flow onto the back and it's out of the way.
Cool.
Pretty neat, right? Now we have two very sweet decorative threads. Now, with your presser foot up, she's not going to go. Lower your presser foot and let's sew something pretty.
Now, the dual swiper on that's
Isn't
a
that pretty?
patented feature, and that's
Yes.
built into the foot. And so it's not in your way like other top cover stitch
Correct.
machines.
Correct. Oh my goodness,
Oh.
we've taken that stitch to the next
Look at
level. Now, whenever you stitch off, make sure you leave yourself a big old tail. You're welcome. George is going to show you how pretty that is. Look at the difference.
Okay. And we'll pop up Cheryl's sample up on the screen too.
Look
I'm
at
sure
the difference.
we have the Cheryl cam. There we go.
Cheryl Cam, there we go.
Nice.
So just by adding that extra thread, look how fun that became.
Okay. Show them the pivot with the Y and Y.
Yeah, we're going to turn.
And then I'll take over with the price.
Got it. Okay. So is everyone good with that? No? Angels will come. So what we're going to do next is we're going to learn how to pivot so that we can make, where's my sample? So on your table runner that you're making in here in class, you can just do straight lines, right? You can just do straight lines. Or you can
I
do
like that one.
all kinds of fun
That's wacky.
pivot. It's wacky. It's fun, right? See how I pivoted? Now this machine has a unique feature to let us pivot. Oh my goodness. It's a kind of a hidden feature, but it's going to be
This is why this is not a surgery. It doesn't have
Yeah.
the same restrictions
that the other one does.
that a surgery would. Yeah.
Okay, so if you're ready here in class, let's do a pivot. So take your fabric, you've learned the trick now, raise your presser foot, put it gently on the edge, lower your presser foot, and stitch to the middle of your little sample. In class here, we also have little quilt sandwiches that you can play with if you want to do this on a little quilt sandwich too.
And wouldn't you advise always to kind of do a sample before you do
Oh,
it?
yes, yes. That's, yes. Always, when you make something, just take some extra and do a sample because you're just thankful. It just,
Well, and I always do a variation to get what I want. Like the length and sorry, but I'm going to do this here so they can see. So just the difference between the length and the extra
Right.
thread, you don't know until you see it.
You don't
if
know
that's
till
what
you see
like.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're ready to do a corner here? It's pretty fun. Okay, so stitch for me onto the middle of your fabric and stop. Okay. All right, so now I have to do a visual. I'm sorry. The needle's down, I know. So we're going to have to do a visual. Okay, so we're going to turn a corner and we have 2 needles, right? It's like I have 2 feet in the ground. Oh, I know. How are we going to turn a corner? Well, this machine is unique and it's really going to help me do that. I can't turn a corner because my feet are like the needles, right? I can't do that. So I actually have to have my feet up. Now, I can't levitate. If I could, I wouldn't be here teaching. I would be
It'd be a whole
somewhere
different
special.
job for you.
So what we're going to do is we're going to go touch the needle up button, and your needles are going to come up to their highest position. Okay? Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to turn it. We're going to turn it. This is something we can't do with other stuff, right? Because we need to release those interlocking threads on the back just a little bit. Not a lot, a little bit. So here's what you're going to do. Put your hands on either side and give it a little wiggle. Not a big wiggle, just a little wiggle. No, you're touching your fabric. Touching your fabric.
Yeah.
Just do a teeny tiny, it's just a teeny tiny twist.
It's like a dance.
Just a little one. You've gone to the high school prom and you don't want to go over crazy.
Oh, we need to
Because
have
people would
Chubby
look at
Checker
you.
music playing right at that point.
You want to do a teeny tiny wiggle, okay? Now that you've done a teeny tiny wiggle, that's loosened up those threads just a little bit. Now turn the direction you want to go. Just on the fabric, your hands are only on the fabric right now. Hands are only on the fabric. Just turn the way you want to go.
Press your
Press your
foot up.
foot's up. Press your foot up. Needle up.
Yep.
It's all good.
Yep.
Oh, haven't I not said to turn? I'm sorry. Put your press your foot up. I apologize.
Yes, Simon says.
I was too busy wiggling.
Kathy says.
I was
put the
too
pressure
busy
foot up.
wiggling, having too much fun dancing up here. Okay, so turn it. Now pull it just a little bit so that your needles are going to come down at that far end. So you're going to get complete coverage when you turn the corner. You see it? We have I see it. We have 2 I see it's, 3 I see it's. Do I hear 4 I see it's? Cool. All right. Then lower your presser foot and go. Isn't that cool? Now, why could you do that? You could do that because this has a unique feature because when you raise your presser foot, it automatically lowers your feed dogs.
Okay.
I want that on all my other machines. So that's why you do a little wiggle, because if you do a big one, you're going to pull too many threads out and you're not going to get that neat corner look. Right? I think we have super success up here in the front. Happy.
Okay.
This is unique to this machine, and that's why it's really cool to do all kinds of embellishments, even with any kind of angles that you can do. Pretty neat, right? Cool. All right. We're almost ready for our table runner
There is
project,
a
but I think
question that
George
came through.
has.
There's a question that came through
Okay.
online.
Oh, boy, online question.
And the question was, if you have heavier weight thread
Mhm.
or yarn,
Mhm.
do you just, after you put them through the metal rings, do you still put them around where the other threads go? And
Yes.
the answer is yes. So let's point to Cheryl's
Right. Yes.
camera. So
That-
we're talking about point to those rings right there, okay?
Did everyone get that question?
If we had
Came in
thicker
online?
thread, we would
That's
go in
kinda
there,
cool.
but
We
you'd
get
still
other
go
questions.
below and go through the rest of the mechanism,
Yes.
up and around through that, because that's where this comes through. Yes. What's that? Okay. All right. So I'll do that.
So, what was I going to say?
All right. So here we go. So you have those rings. That's for bypassing the tension guides for thick threads. Okay. Because I can put much thicker threads. But once you go through there, you still go through the rest of the mechanism up and around and then down into the hole. So I think that's a good question. Thank you for calling that in or texting it in. And but we also now have an opportunity to give away another prize.
Yes.
Okay. But this is a prize that's you have to wait. Now it's my show. But I do have a winner because I think we've given away 2 already here.
Yes.
And the second prize virtually is a Facebook winner. Is Katie Kinsey. Congratulations. So just email customer service at moores-so.com and Fatima is going to send a little text to you or a message to you there. Okay. So.
And thank you for having an easier to pronounce name.
It's my fault. I can't pronounce my name half the time. Before I give this away, I want to tell you about a very special opportunity we have on the Baby Lock Applaud, because I have found that once you start sewing on this is incredible. Now I mentioned this is not a serger. It's something that complements everything. So a lot of you have the world's best serger, and that's the Triumph. Okay, I here for that. Or there's a lot of other good brands out there. This could sit right next to it. Or let's say you have no interest in construction, but you want to embellish. This is it. So let's go ahead and bring up the thing. So we have a special on these very models. Okay, we did our first event yesterday, and you'll see there's several red tagged machines. Okay, what happens is once we sell them, they go on to the next. We got 2 batches here, but we have a lot of events, and we have got this available for you online here. So the price of this machine retail is $44.99. Now I went to Baby Lock's website this morning and said, what is Baby Lock's? Because Baby Lock sells direct, but not as good as we have a better buy. Baby Lock's price is $39.55. Right, check it out. Go on their website. I go to the lowest price that they allow. That's called the best price. And $34.99, that's my everyday low price. But when I have an event, this is a factory sanctioned event, so that I can, on these models I bring in, offer a very, very special opportunity for you. And that is, I can save you $350, okay? And that's $31.49. Now, these machines are brand new, fully warranted, and once we're done, we have 2 days of events. My service department takes them, cleans them, makes sure that they're perfect, okay? And for those who are local who are buying them, they'll go to the store. For those who are out there across the country, we have free shipping. We also have a better interest-free payments right now. It's 24 months interest-free, so it's $131.21 a month, interest-free, okay? And you click on the link and order that and do the process right now. If you have, and I'll tell you, customer service at moores-so.com, it is my favorite employee that handles customers. She is such a good employee that sometimes she tells me what to do. In fact, all the time. Just my wife. And so my wife, Lorena, will answer you. She is awesome. Now, that we also, across the country, we have free shipping. Okay. Yeah, across the country. Alaska and Hawaii, we have to charge a little bit because it's a little more. Okay. But this is what are you used to seeing this? But wait.
There's more.
All right, that's because we have a bonus, okay? And the bonus is we're going to include this special kit of 10 feet that's for the Applaud, and we're going to show you some of the feet today. But it has 10 feet as an instruction guide. In fact, I'll let you show that when we're ready for it. But that has a value of $349, and so that's an opportunity. But the limitation is either we sell out or May 26th. We will sell out before that. That's Memorial Day. We will sell out these machines. And by the way, you can contact us at our 800 number. And right now, normally our 800 number goes right to a message, and you leave a message and call you back. But right now, it's going live to where we are till the end of the day, 5 o'clock Pacific time. So you can call your order. I've got several staff members that are experts here. What do you think about the staff here? Yeah, They love this. We're all family here. Okay.
They're on
And
the
so-
phone right now.
Yeah, they're calling right now. So, and then I'll tell you those in the crowd. If you're thinking you want it, you better get one before people online get all these machines. Okay, see how I'm working? See how I'm working the deals? And again, customer service at Moores-Show. By the way, our Moores-Show.com. There's not an apostrophe online. Just that's a typo. That you know what? I did the PowerPoint. That's my typo. Sorry. Anyway, so with that being said, let's give away another prize.
You had a blooper, so you have to give away a prize.
I've got so many bloopers. All right, so we're going to give away another pair of Ginger scissors to someone here locally, and then also like, share, and comment online, Lavon Nelson. Congratulations. Let me get you your scissors. Okay, Kathy, take it.
Take it away. Take it away, Kathy. Okay, guys, are you ready to sew on your table runner? Yeah, I know you've been ready, right? It inch you to get there. So find your table runner. It's opened up on your table, well, ironically. And then, so what we're going to do, we're going to talk about through this process, right? Do you have a long tail? Right? Make sure you have a long tail. You'll thank me later. Why? Because you get to bury that tail to the back of your table runner, right? Unless you want a fringe on the edge, right? So on the top of your machine, there's a little magnet, okay? And you have a couple little things to bury a tail. And you're totally welcome to bury your tails during class. And I will be happy to show you how to do that. But I'm just going to say, if you want more stitching time in class, bury your tails at home, you know? Put on a Hallmark movie, you know the plot, right? And just bury your tails, right? It's all good. So what we're going to do is you have a long tail. Put the edge of your table runner up to your needles. You can raise your presser foot. By the way, this machine does come with a knee lever, but these tables where you're sitting here, your chair is small. So the knee lever would not be near your knee. Trust me on that. But you could also use your knee lever just to raise that presser foot to get that under there. So raise your presser foot, take your table runner and put it right up next to the edge, wherever you want. If this is your design. Now we've gone into designer's choice, wherever you want to go. I kind of recommend somewhere in the middle would be kind of good. The corner makes it a little bit more challenging. Okay, then lower your presser foot. And are your wipers engaged? Is that little lever thing up? Okay, that's okay. If it's up, you're going to sew a decorative stitch. Now, I'd like you to sew to the end of wherever you want to go. When you get to the end, don't stitch off, stop, and I'm going to tell you a secret cool trick, and you're going to appreciate it. So put it under there, sew to the end, and then look up and give me that kind of, what do we do next look? Get a tail.
I might change thread.
Oh, great. Yeah. Yeah, people changing threads already. That's great. That's what it's all about. In class here, we have lots of different threads in a basket. Yeah, I know. Put a different thread. That's what I did on this one. I put a different thread on everything. Just to check out the different colors and stuff. Can you see that? Yeah, there we go. He got it. Cameron rocks. And then here's my little threads on the end. You don't have to look up. I know you're busy sewing, but here's our little threads on the end that I'm going to bury onto the back. But you could, if you put them close enough together, you could leave threads on the end and make a fringe. That would be very pretty. In fact, I made a scarf and I forgot to bring it. But I just did lines and I just left the tails on there. If you get to the end, let me talk you through that, if that's okay. So if you've reached the end, what happens is if you have those wiper threads going, sometimes they will actually engage and hold a stitch, especially if we're doing a narrow cover stitch. And that means you have like a piece of yarn. In fact, I've made yarn. I've made like a yarn on this machine. This is just a tail. This is just one of the tails, and it holds together as a yarn. okay? But it kind of becomes more challenging to bury onto the back. So I have a cool trick to help you do that. So if you've come to the end of the edge of your hem of your pre-done table runner, right? Stop, disengage your wipers by taking that lever and putting it down. What that does is that stops those from going back and forth, and they can't make a chain, can they? Right? So when you stitch off with a big long tail, you don't have everything all mixed up there. And it's more simple to bury your threads. So if you come to the end, disengage, stitch off for at least 12 inches because you want 6 inches in the front and 6 inches in the back. Now, the only catch with this is what? We got to remember to turn our wipers back on when we start to sew our next thing. I see people have discovered their speed lever. This machine will stitch at 1,500 stitches a minute. So that's kind of good. That's cool. When I'm using decorative threads, though, I kind of keep it, slow down just a little tiny bit. Super thick threads, yeah, take your time. It's all good. So when you start sewing again at the other end, take a stitch on, engage your wipers, and stitch away. Okay. Disengage your wipers. Use that little lever. Put that down, and then
Kathy,
just
while
stitch,
they're playing,
stitch off.
Yeah. I want to show people here and out there how many Sewing Tech Talk videos there are out there. Okay. And I counted 140 videos with Kathy. It's like having Kathy at home. Okay. And so we've done something on our website that is brand new. Okay. Well, it's not new. It's new to find it. So I'm going to go to my computer and let's show that full screen.
There I am. That's where I had when my hair was red.
Okay. So this is moors-sew.com. That's our website. And if you that's the front page of it. Now we've got different banners, okay? All the different things that's going on here. Now you click on this, it goes to the landing page with Sewing Tech Talk. Now with Sewing Tech Talk, you've got, look at this, Kathy. It's like it never ends.
It doesn't never end.
There's 140 videos. And when she does a video, she doesn't just do a video.
Nope.
Okay. So, I mean, different models, different brands, sergers, sewing machines, embroidery machines. I mean, I was going back there and going, oh my goodness. Now, let's pick one, the latest. And the latest is always on the top here. And so.
Pick the placemat, George.
The placement. Okay, so click on that. I'm clicking on that. And so there's the video. So you can watch it right here. And then it also gives you what products are being shown. But this is the magic. This is what I love. I click on this here. I can download a supply list and instructions with pictures and everything.
Pictures.
By the way, everybody, this is free. This is not being charged for. So
did you mention it was free, George?
it's free.
Okay.
Yes.
It's free.
Okay. So that's her information, the wealth of her knowledge, the time spent for that. We've invested in that because we want to inspire people so that they will use not only their products, but they'll use more products. Get it?
More.
Get
they don't
it?
get it. Ha 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 ha.
All right. So that's something that's been on our website for a while, but now it's made available. So tell your friends. We got 140 videos. You're going to be watching Kathy for the next 3 years.
They just keep coming. They just keep coming. Yes, ma'am.
So let's do it just tuning in. At Carol's camera list here. All right, if you're just tuning in, we are doing the live thread play with the Baby Lock Applaud. We've got our hostess,
I think it's time for another prize.
Kathy
We should do
Brown,
it now.
and people here are enjoying all kinds of wonderful techniques they're learning on the Baby Lock Applaud. We've got a very special buy. We're going to pop that up there for you. You can call us at 1-800-865-9664. But stay tuned. We've got live prize giveaways, and you have a chance to win valuable prizes. So don't go away. I'll do that once more.
Thank you.
You're so focused.
I
on
know.
this.
Everyone got really concentrated. I think I'm
Look at that.
fixing to do a demo so we can give
I
away
love the
another prize,
metallic
George.
thread come off there.
Woo!
I missed what you said, Kathy. Yep. You ready for a demo?
Sure. So I'm
Maybe-
going to make it hard for Cameron. I'm going to go front and then go back to the machine, but that's okay. He's got skills. He's got mad skills. Okay, now at the event, it's correct, George, that they're getting this foot kit,
Yep.
right?
This is a mobile camera.
Right. Okay.
I'm the roaming reporter.
Foot kit. This foot kit's coming with the machine during the event. And the one thing that's really great, of course, you get a case to keep it in, but there's also instructions for how to use all the different feet. These all work for the Applaud, of course,
And I would say Baby Lock's instructions
are over the top.
are amazing. And does everybody know that Baby Lock has the Love of Knowledge online portal for training? Okay, and that is a portal of education that's specific for models as well as techniques. And so with any Baby Lock purchase, you get a trial membership when you register of 60 days. So you go there. But also you got Kathy, and I've got some other private things that's going to happen with Kathy coming soon when you buy from Morse. Okay, Ms. Stalin, are you ready? What are you going to do next?
I'm going to start. I'm going to do a belt loop.
Okay, now you saw I changed the camera angle.
Okay.
So see how that is? That's much better.
Look at that.
I'm actually getting good at this.
That's perfect. It's like we know how to do what we're doing. So this is a wide belt loop. It doesn't look like one, does it? Right? Because what I've done is I made the belt loop and I added extra stitching to it. Okay. So this is the narrow belt loop, and you can see it's an attachment that goes on the front of the machine. And there's your attachment screws that come with the machine. You attach it to the front. And what a lot of these attachments do is they manipulate the fabric before it gets to the needle. And this is making a belt loop. Now, I don't normally make a lot of jeans to make belt loops. Do you? But you can do a lot of fun things. So these are just belt loops that have been woven. Speaking of sewing tech talk, this is an episode called Serger Weaving. And I actually show you in that video how to make this really fun handle by weaving the strips together. And I have one here that's a little bit smaller. If that handle's just a little bit too beefy for you, then I have another smaller one. And this is I love making purses, but handles, maybe not so much.
What was that other purse that we had around here?
And it's around here somewhere.
I'll
It
go
went
look
passed around. So anyway, so this is how I did that with that person. George is going to find it. So basically, this is the small belt loop binder, and I've cut my fabric strip on the straight of grain, and it's going to take that fabric strip and turn it under like that. But what it's also going to do is add that creative cover stitch, top stitching on the top. So here's what I'm going to do. I got it started in there, and as I sew, here it comes.
That is the most awesome thing.
Isn't that fun? Now, this is how I like to joke when I teach my classes live, and I hope we can get this out for everybody virtually, right? Here's what's really cool. Now, I'm going to get it started, and if you look at me for a second, can you see me, right? Here I go. Okay, as I'm stitching it, you have to watch it every second. You have to watch it every second as you're going.
Are you joking? You're
I'm joking, because if you can see me here,
you're not doing it.
I'm not even
you have
looking
a
at
guy with a phone in front of your face trying to do this.
So give me a visual, George. Give me a visual.
Yeah.
So you watch it every second while you're stitching.
Yeah, there you go.
Just make sure you watch
does
it
it
as
automatically.
you go. It's automatic. So if you get it, once you get it set up, you can make belt loops one right after
Look
the
at
other.
this is awesome.
I know. So isn't that cool? Isn't that stitch cool? Let's show you. Let me get it up here so that you can see how fun that is on that belt loop. Can you see that?
So another thing we're going to be showing later is the binder foot. Imagine on your quilt doing a decorative embellishment, binding that at the same time.
Correct. So I did a demo. Are we going to give away a prize?
Yes, thank you. Thank you for reminding me. Okay, and guess what the prize is? Scissors.
Still,
Bigger
wow,
scissors.
what a
Okay,
surprise.
but I think do we have another one to announce? Are we at that point from the last one? You would have. All right, so Fatima's drawing a prize for because every time I give one away, I have another one to announce on Facebook, right? Or YouTube, one or the other. Stencil. Okay, so I have a rule about the prizes because I just know, I know I love my local customers here. If you're in the store here, you can't try to win online. Not mention anybody. I saw you. We like multitasking. Okay, so the last online one, because we've given away 3 pairs of scissors so far, right?
Right.
Okay, so this is the 3rd winner online, is on Facebook. It's Lori Stensland. So you win this here. Email customer service at moores-so.com, but we'll also announce that on Facebook here. And so now the next winner here locally. See, we want to show more demos, get more excitement,
More
win
demos,
more
more
prizes.
prizes.
Donna Owens. Donna, congratulations.
Yay!
Now, I have a question for all of you. Can you have too many pairs of scissors?
No.
No.
Can you have too many machines?
No.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. All right, what are we doing next? Oh, did you show that was the sample there?
I kind of did, but we can do it now that we've done the prize thing. So here is those belt loops, and I'm passing a belt loop that I did around. So these are the narrow belt loops like I just did. And you see how it adds that decorative stitching on the top, right? I wanted it to kind of look like a basket, so I did yellow. Now these on the back, this is a wider belt loop. And when it comes out of the machine with a wider belt loop, let me get this up here so y'all can see. Ignore that one side because I did something on there, but see how it comes on. And I thought that this was just a little bit too much extra fabric, and I wanted to cover it with thread because I have an Applaud, right? So what I did is I stitched on either side of that just basic stitch with a smaller cover stitch to add a little bit more extra on that. And these on the edge, I did the wide and I did the narrow, and you can see that. And I just wove my strips together. To make the body of the bag. It kind of looks like a basket, I think. Now, while we're here, do you see these?
Oh, I like
right? Can you see these? Those are crocheted flowers. But remember when we sew off, we make that tail, right? Well, if you're doing a narrow cover stitch, you can, I hope I can hold this up so people can see. When you do a narrow cover stitch, when you have a certain kind of collection of threads, these are 2 serger threads that I had, and 2 decorative 12-way threads, and then a different thread in the cover stitch loopers. There's 5 just regular sewing threads.
So Kathy, let me see. A serger would normally just have the 3 at the most on the chain, maybe 4,
Right.
but it's not done in the same way. This is actually like weaving them together.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So what happens is that wiper's going back and forth, and it's adding that extra thread to here. So I get kind of a beefy little crochet thread, and I'm you know, who knows? I could make a sweater. Who knows? Well, maybe not. That's not enough for that, but I have enough to do all kinds of fun stuff. And imagine doing that, right? You're making your project, but you want some extra embellishment to go on top of that. And we're going to be dealing with a cording foot in a little bit. You could literally make the cord and use that same thread to stitch it down with, or make a metallic yarn. All kinds of different choices there. Pretty neat.
So why don't we switch places? I'm gonna get the machine ready.
Okay.
'Cause I want to show my favorite thing. So you want to
Okay.
go ahead and take that off, and then prior to that, we'll have another prize announcement.
Okay.
Go to the Cheryl camera. So again, if you're just joining us here, we're doing the live, the simulcast presentation of the thread play with the Baby Lock Applaud. and we're making a placemat with this amazing product, this creative cover stitch machine, the Baby Lock Applaud. But you want to tune in. Stay on with us because we're going to give away a prize. I'm going to give a demonstration. We're going to pop up our special prices right now on these machines that we opened up for this class, and you can call us at our 800 number 1-800-865-9664 right now to order one of these incredible machines. So let's get ready for a prize and a demo.
So that's the stitch that this does. That's the only stitch that this does, right? Because I'm not
So now when George is setting up my friends in class, I want to just touch on, I need a math major or a mathematician because I can't figure this out. But if anyone online knows how to figure this out, go ahead and do it, and you can send us in the answer. So all the different variations you can do with this stitch. In class, we're just doing the off-white thread in the 2 needles and an off-white thread in the looper. We're not changing that in class because we want more time to play with our threads. But those can always be changed. And George is going to show you in a little bit how to put a really fun thread. You're in the looper, yes? Yeah. George is going to have it in the looper. So imagine this. The threads on the top, we can have up to 3, can all be different. The looper thread can be different. We have 2 different threads coming in on the top. We could have 1 or 2. We can also change our stitch length. We can change the weight of our thread. So right now, I think I've mentioned 10 different variations that we have. And I know there's a mathematical formula for finding out how many different variations that we can have with this stitch. Oh, I forgot to add. We can add a cording on the inside. We can add multiple cords on the inside. So I think there might be 15 or 20 different variations, maybe more. And how many choices is that?
That's math.
I'm not good at math. I don't know, but there's lots of different choices. Anyway, if you figure that out at home, let me know. I'm going to say there's 15 variations right off the top of my head. And if you can figure that out, it's probably in the thousands, tens of thousands. I don't know. Oh, don't forget the color. How many colors are there? Oh, I don't know. We might, don't put this in your computer. We might break it. There's too many choices. Oh, that's pretty. Oh my goodness. We're going to have to go around and take a picture of some of these coming out. Some of them are really pretty. That goes
All right.
up to.
Are we ready here?
Yep.
I'm going to show something here, and let's see if I can bring up the George cam here. So I'm working with. Let's look at this. So this is a 6-weight Madeira rayon, and so this rayon thread, and we'll go ahead and come in this side so people here can see it. This right here is too thick to be threaded not only through the tracks but also the threading. So what Baby Lock has, they have what's called a bypass. So if we look here closer, this is a bypass here and here, where I can bypass. And Kathy, maybe you can help
try.
You can do the George cam. Okay.
I can be the
now
George.
remember, our customers here can't see it, so look what they're seeing. Kathy, look there. So you don't want to stand in front of that.
Oh.
So maybe actually this is a good shot here. See, we're doing this on the whim. So I'm going through here, and the difference is this thread phrase. What is this? Is rayon.
This is rayon.
And it's so thick that it's amazing, but it's beautiful. It's wonderful, awesome stuff. So what this has, it has a bypass right here where I can see, I bypass the threading path there and there. See, actually that's a good shot from that side. And then it's so thick that I want to bypass the threading, so I have pre-threaded a little loop. What do you call that? You called it a cradle.
Thread cradle.
I don't know why you call it a cradle.
It's just what it is.
Okay. So I just threaded a loop. It's white thread, so I can't even see it. So I probably should have used dark. It's basically, so I caught that. See that, how that is? I pulled that, and I pull it all the way through the threading. Come, let me grab this here. Oop. Okay, so right there, and I pull it right through. That's teamwork right there. Okay, all right, thank you. All right,
Thank you.
So, but you know what I did? Is I missed it. Okay, so we're gonna do it again. Live TV.
Live
Okay,
TV.
so first, I want to put it through this hole. Okay, so you think that is going to be difficult. It's not. So what I'm going to do, put it through that hole right there. Okay, again, normally I would air thread it, but you know what I'm going to do? I can show you how to make the thread cradle. Okay, so I basically take threads like this and this. All right. All right, so what I have, I've looped the thread. Okay, now I go to my air threading. This has that extraordinary threading that is a motor, and it's a very powerful motor. But what I want to do is I want to hold on to this end, right? I don't want it to go all the way through. So I start, and by the way, I can't see if I'm even near the hole.
Neither can I. That's
Because
that's,
I don't have
that's
my
ironic.
glass. You know what? I don't. I don't have my glass. This is hilarious. This is, we got to come up with a name for our comedic. All right. So,
You want me to show you a trick?
well, I can't see the hole. There we go. Okay, now it's there. So I'm not even near it, and it's going to.
No, you're not.
Okay. That's hilarious. Live. That deserves a prize, right?
Definitely.
Okay. I'm going to give away a prize. Okay, now I can see it. There. Okay. See, it's sticky to my
You
fingers.
just pulled it out.
Do you think what it is? It's because we're on live television. It's not even television anymore. There we go. Okay. See, I got it. See, I got it.
Yay!
All right. So what I want to do, is it long enough? It's not long enough. Okay. One more time. One more time. See, it does happen to everyone.
That's right.
And what do? You just go
you
with
just keep
it.
doing it.
You just go with it. I think about, you know that there was air threading. The first air threading came in the 90s, but there was automatic threaders in the early 80s. Does anybody know that? Back in the early 80s, I had this customer would call me, make sure I was there. And she said, George, I need some thread. Oh, I see what. I need some thread on my serger.
I'm going to give you a visual. Okay, you put it in.
I know.
And release.
I know. That's what I'm doing. I'm not letting go. There we go. Just letting it. Okay, the automatic thread in the 80s. There we go. Well, she would call and say, George, I want some thread. And so she would come in, she'd buy thread, and I was her automatic threader. So I was a lot better back then. Okay, so now that I did it, so I have a loop on this end, and I've got this on this end. Okay, so we all got that. Now I open this up, and I want to bring this in from here, because remember, that thread's way too thick. So now there's that loop. There's that cradle. So now I did all that to get to this. And see, it was so perfect when everything was threaded, but I missed that hole. Okay, so now what I got here, I got this loop. Okay, so now I'm doing this so I can work with this thicker thread. Okay, so now look at this. Boom. Now that's pulled all the way through that. So now I've got this. Okay, that's on the back, that's on the bottom. And so I've got the two threads on the top and bottom. I want to create something that's reversible, because the thread that I have here, I love the top, but I want the bottom. You were actually referring to that when you were doing the, what was that, the cape?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So I've got this right here. What am I doing?
Surging.
There we go.
There you go. Surging.
Surging. Dude. Okay.
Do it the other way.
Go the other way.
Just, it'll be prettier on the other side.
This right here. This way.
Yeah, do it that way.
Okay, all right. I've got, now you were calling me an angel on the shoulder. I'm going to say you're an angel.
Oh.
You are an angel. Oh, okay. So I sew all the way up, but I like the fact that I'm going to keep going, and create a loop that's beautiful because of that thread, and come back this way. Actually, I did it. Oh, I'll do a crossover. I didn't do that last time. And I'm going to just do this because now I just create a loop, and I come down this way. Okay, and we'll do it again. I discover things by playing. I don't follow any rules because really, I don't know. I don't know why I do it. Okay, so now loop.
loop. Come on around. There you go.
Okay, I'm gonna do it one more time. I want you to see the double loop. All right. So, are your creative ideas flowing? Because what I just put in there is the back. All right. So we'll do one more here, and I want to show you what it looks like. Oh, why am I not stopping? See what I'm doing? I'm going like this. This is just too much fun. Can you think about your projects that you could use this on? I mean, the thing about this is that this almost looks like you can make jewelry out of it. So we're gonna look at that. That's like it's the white there. Now, where's my sample that you grabbed out of the crowd?
Next one. Next.
I actually almost lost this sample.
There you go. See it? It's
there
coming.
it is. Okay.
There it comes.
So this one right here, you put it in there. Thank you.
Protect your samples, George.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so the same thing. Okay, so let's go here. This is the same thing done with a metallic on the top. And then again, the back is that thick thread. So it's reversing it. Can you think of some cool things you can do with it? What do you think, ladies? They were focusing on that. Okay, so we're going to give away a prize. All right, so
I'll put
the
George
next
camera.
prize we're going to give away. First of all, we had the last winner on YouTube was Janice. Boy, I got to wear my glasses.
I know you really do. Urfer.
Is that a you?
That's a you.
U-R-F-F-E-R.
Urfer.
Janice, email customer service at moors-show.com. And we're going to do another one. And this one we're going to give away here locally, but also online. If you'd like, share a comment, or say George's technique is the most amazing thing. If you say that online, we may give you attention. I don't know. Did you just yawn?
No, I didn't. I was, no.
So they're so excited, but the presenter's yawning.
No, I'm not yawning.
May Wang. May, where are you? Congratulations.
Yay.
All right. Yay.
So remember, you guys, when I said that you can make that, George did his beautiful sample, right? Eventually we got there. So remember I said when you chain off, you can create a yarn, right? We're going to get this. Where the best place to get this? Can we come in here, Cameron? How are we going to get this? Should it be over by the machine? Is that better? Okay, that's more better. Okay. The great and powerful Oz, I need to come over by the machine. So let me show you here. Now, this is George's. You see George's? Look at that. Can you see that? That's a healthy 1/4 inch wide. It is all held together. This, my friends, is a knitting yarn you'd pay a lot for. I'm serious. Now look at this one. This is actually a 2-sided. Look at that. It all held together, and that created this great beefy kind of yarn. So imagine making this and then stitching it down. Could you add other stitches on top of it? Could this be an extra added embellishment? I imagine just a purchased jacket. Say you purchase a jacket and you add this trim going around the outside edge of it. You're making your own trim. Have you ever gone to the store and you've priced trim? You can never find what you want. And B, you have to fill out a credit app before you buy it. So making your own trim is pretty exciting stuff. And I'm going to pass this around here locally so everyone can see that. I'm going to make a big old tail. See how it's all holding together? Look at that. Isn't that fun? So George, if you have the George cam, you want to go show some of the cool work that we're getting done? Would that be good? Yes, ma'am.
Right. What I want to do is this. So I want to basically come in about this far before I start sewing, so I can do the square at the corner.
Sure. Okay, you want to start in the middle.
So how do I It won't go past that needle.
Okay, we have a couple questions, and then I'll come and show people what is going on out in the crowd.
Stitch some without the wipers.
So this is for
Should I
Kathy, and you can stay where you are, but what are the blue handles made of on the basket purse? On the basket purse, what are the blue handles made?
Oh, those are just, I cheated. Those are purchased handles, but
Well, it could have. So everybody asked me if I embroidered this. So this is my could have shirt. I could have embroidered it. You could have made those, right?
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But this is what I really probably should have done. From the Serger Weaving Tech Talk, I really think I should have made a handle like this with the matching belt loops and woven it and just stitched it down like that.
Okay. So
I think that would have been a really cool
speaking
handle.
of Sewing Tech Talk, question, or it's not a question. Yeah, it is a question. Can Kathy show us how to actually make those larger threads during Sewing Tech Talk? So basically, working with the larger threads on Sewing Tech Talk, that's a request.
Okay.
All right. Is that a
Okay.
yes?
That's yeah, absolutely,
right, so-
absolutely. Another Applaud video, and I'm making videos that are probably coming out in July or August right now. So, absolutely.
So I'm going to go out in the
And who
crowd
wants to know how to
show-
crochet at the same time? Maybe we'll make some flowers. That sounds like a good idea. Okay. Let's see.
Let's see what you got. Nice.
What we need to do is we need
Very
to get under here and
nice.
get these colors. So they
A lot
kind
of
of
fun.
done that.
Okay, we
didn't
got
do that.
this.
What you would
It's
do is you take
thread. I
your
think
hand
thread
here,
play was the right name,
turn
right?
it one complete turn
Look at that.
towards you.
And it's mine.
Oh, you
If
bought
they did,
this.
they've
Oh,
already-
congratulations.
They've all released. They've
All
all
right, we got
released.
a lot of them
So
that are already red
now
tagged. So you
you
want to
can
call
take
in
it.
1-800-865-9664. I've said that a couple times. What do you got there? Oh, I like the metallic. That's very nice. Get a little shine there. Awesome.
Watch, my husband's watching.
Yeah. Did you say your husband's watching or hope he's not watching?
I hope he's not watching, but this is mine.
Awesome. Awesome. Oh, look at that.
There you go. Now stitch with your threads going back.
And we got the Cheryl Cam. How are you doing, Cheryl?
Turn it front.
Having fun? Let's see what you're working on. Oh, you got the. You're,
Setting something up for embroidery.
okay, so you're going to do embroidery in between that? Is that what you're thinking of? Awesome. Okay, so have you stitched that down yet, or
Yes, I just use the
The-
without the
without the so you've stitched it without the top stitch, so because the ribbon is very decorative as it is.
correct.
Okay, and then you're going to take this and put embroidery
Probably on the
between this
middles.
here. Everything's embroidery, right? I'm the same way. I love embroidery, but now you're thinking of using this to enhance your embroidery.
Correct.
Yeah, nice, very cool, exciting. Where are we at, Kathy? Good.
I'm making sure I have my notice that I'm going to put to do a sewing tech talk, so I'll be right back.
All
so
right.
I don't forget it.
All right, we have people buying this machine here. We got people buying them online. Again, the special is on the seminar models we have for $31.49, and that's reduced from our everyday low price because they've been used only for the events we have here. Fully warranted. We're going to go through them before we ship them. Interest-free payments of $131.21. And you can call us at 1-800-865-9664 or just click on the link to order. Out there, you know you want it. Just get it. If you have questions, seriously. Oh, and also, we did get a call, and I didn't get their name, but it was someone's husband, and they said it was okay to buy. So use that as you may. You have your permission. That never gets old, does it? See, this is me stalling for Kathy. Notice I got my glasses on. Finally, now I can see.
All right. Okay, let's do something fun.
All right.
Woo! All right. So there is for this machine, there are at the current time, there are 2 different sets of what's called a micro insert. Okay. This is a set of 6. And what it is, let me open it up. On the front of the toe of the machine, there's a little plastic thing. It might be challenging to see. Let me remove it. And that gives you some guides to where the needles are. Can you see that? Right? Let me see where you can do it. So that comes out. Now it's little, put it in a safe place. So I'm going to put it on the side of the machine over here, my little secret compartment that's not a secret anymore. There you go. So I'm going to store it. Now these are different little inserts that fit back into there, and they all have different configurations of openings for tape or yarn, or the yarn that you've now made thanks to George, right? That could fit in there as well, right? Okay, so I've chosen one, and this is I don't know if you're familiar, it's a cotton, it's a sugar and cream yarn. You guys have seen that, right? Make pot holders out of it, very common, very easy to get. So what I'm gonna do is what I have done is I've taken the yarn and gone from the bottom and then back through the hole. So what this guide is going to do, it's going to guide it underneath those threads. Now they're pretty close together right now, but I could literally have it at a longer stitch length and you'd see more of the yarn, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this back like this. I'm simply going to take this and insert it in where that other little insert was. So this foot's a transformer, basically, right? So now I'm going to take this yarn and I'm going to take it to the back, raise my presser foot, and it's going to fit back there. Right now I have the needles down. Let's raise the needles up, and I can bring that yarn up in between those 2 needles, right? So let's find something to stitch on here. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to take it. I'm going to put my fabric a little bit underneath. Notice how that yarn is guided underneath the foot. I have my decorative threads going back and forth, and I still have George's fancy thread in the almost said the bobbin, in the cover stitch looper. So imagine this for making a 2-sided fabric. You know, lapels. What about polar fleece? Have you ever made those jackets in polar fleece where you're seeing both sides? So let's stitch this down and see what that looks like. Oops, I got a little tuck at the end. That's okay. Now I could have used a bigger yarn. I could have used something different. I could have had 2 yarns coming through there. I could have had a cord that I made. There's the front, and it's just as pretty in the back with George's fancy thread.
Is that what it's called?
Pretty neat,
George's
right?
fancy. That's actually Madeira thread.
That's a Madeira thread. It's not. It doesn't.
So I have a request. I
Okay.
can't remember. Was there a giraffe wall hanging?
Yes, we can show
Someone
that.
wants to see that close up again.
Let's do that. Where did it go?
We'll find it.
No one leaves.
maybe
No one
some-
leaves the room.
You know what? It might be in the back. Andrea, can you look in her samples? Is there a giraffe wall hanging in the samples?
There it is.
Come on, Karen, one of our angels. So Karen, to give that to Kathy to show, and probably the camera.
Karen. Okay, I'll hold it up here. Can we see that? You guys know the story of this. Did I tell the story of this? I literally found the giraffe stitch out in the trash when we were coming back from Road to
that's right.
California.
Yeah.
And I did do it's called matchstick quilting, right? Here around the back of the giraffe.
Ignore the guy with the phone.
The back of here we go. Here we go. We can make it. There we go. Thank you. So I did like matchstick quilting. I should have stitched it on the Applaud because I could have had that extra fun thread running through there, right? But we can come up here. I think this is what they might want to see. I did piecing. I did some kind of crazy piecing.
I think you're better facing that way for them, for people here. Cameron, let's look at this shot right here. I want them to see it from this shot angle. There we go.
There we go. Look at that. Okay. Okay, so here we come. I'm coming on over so we can see. Here we go. Okay, woohoo. Here we go. So you guys can see. Okay, now we can see it. So I did my piecing. And then I just went over the top of it. With that decorative stitch that we've been doing. This right here is a yarn, and I can dig it out so that you can see it. A yarn, and I appliqued both sides of it because you can use this machine for applique, right? And then the other cool thing is I had some batik fabric. I just cut a raw edge strip, and I just stitched down the middle of I just stitched down the middle of it, that raw edge batik fabric. And it really gives it that fun. It really gives it like a fun look, I think.
Very nice.
Yeah, that fun look.
So it gives you an idea how many of you just embroider to do your designs, just test out what they are on your machine. Because some of you have, I know your machines, you have a lot of designs, but how does it look unless you stitch them out? What a great way to take your samples of what you stitch out and put them into a quilt, but not just that typical quilt block, because we've all made quilts out of our embroidery and they're just squared up. Well, I love this, the way everything flows together to make it really look like it's more of an ensemble. All right, so how about another prize? All right, so first of all, our last winner online is on YouTube, and it's Brenda J8689. Brenda J8689. So email customer service at moors-so.com. Say, hey, Lorena, George said I won. All right, but we're going to give away another one. So that means another one here, another one out there. Remember, the more excited you get, the more chances. See, now I just revealed my secret online. I bribed them. No, we have fun here. Sandra G, congratulations. Awesome.
So Cameron, if you could come into the machine again, I'd appreciate that. These are just some novelty yarns that I picked up, like knitting ribbon, just crazy novelty yarns. And they have a whole bunch out there that are like furry, they're kind of like, I think it's called fun fur. They have like all kinds of little pokies out. You could put those down, then fluff them up, and imagine all the cool texture that you would get. So these could either be used with that cording or taping foot, or if they're too wide, just stitch over the top of them, or applique on either side. You can get all kinds of fun looks with all the different yarns. Did anyone out there do my mathematical problem? I forgot to add all the different yarns you can use. There's probably how many yarns out there? 25 billion different yarns. So yeah, it's going to get crazy. Oh, this is a cool look. Check this out. I never thought about this. So here I've embellished, I just stitched it without fabric. I embellished that sugar and cream yarn. So I took it from this to this. And I've made a smaller yarn into a thicker yarn. Look at that. Haven't even thought about that yet.
So once again, if you're just tuning in, this is our live simulcast of the Thread Play with the Baby Lock Applaud. Our hostess, Kathy Brown, is showing all these wonderful guests here what they can do on the Baby Lock Applaud. And so we have a very special buy on these machines. The very models we're using in the classroom here, we have it on sale for $31.49. That's only while supplies last here or until Memorial Day. The way phone calls are coming in here, we'll probably run out of them. We have interest-free payments. Call us at 1-800-865-9664. Click on the link to order. Email customer service at moors-so.com. Right now, if you call the 800 number, it's live, so we'll answer. But at 5 p.m. Pacific time, and again, we're Wednesday the 21st at 5 p.m. Pacific time. Then it goes to our answer machine, but we'll get right back to it. So come on, let's join the fun.
Man, that's like the best thing ever. I need a little wiggle and a jiggle in my
And
life.
just pull yourself a lot of extras.
Beautiful. It's beautiful. Uh-huh.
And then you can take your thread needle and do it later. when I get home.
What do you got there? Let's see. I like the way you did the crisscross on that.
And you should be. And you should
Look
be.
at it.
Isn't that neat? What do you got, Rita? What do we?
It's done.
Yeah,
It's done, but it's beautiful.
so much fun.
Oh, boy.
All right. We got so many fun things. Let's see, they got all their threads they can play with here. What do you think about thread play?
Lots of fun.
Nice,
I love it.
nice.
And you're showing some projects and all that.
Yeah, we're doing that. Having a lot of fun. We're here at our Brea Event Center. We got a lot of room for different events. Oh, got a. I like the curve. Look at that. See, that's the whole thing about this here is that there's no rules on how you sew it. And think about that for your projects, because sometimes we get too restricted to what we're doing here. Look, oh, I like that. And, you know, it's kind of free form. Actually, I like that. I like the color. It gives the contrast. Very nice. What do you have planned, Kathy? Where are we at on this here?
I'm taking your thick thread out and I'm putting just a basic thread on in,
Okay.
like we were
Let's
before.
go to Kathy Cam.
And then what I'm going to do is I am going to put on the stitch in the ditch feet, which is a lot more than stitch in the ditch.
Okay, so I missed it. Did you put the couching foot in yet? Is that what you just had?
We just did the couching foot.
Okay. So if you're online, there's two different kits that you can add to our bundle. One is the couching kit, and I think it has like 5 or 6 different couching.
6.
Okay, and then there's the stitch in the ditch, which you're doing next.
Correct.
And that is, there's 3 different ones. So you can add that. If you purchase it right online, you can add that to the cart, and they're on sale as well. They're optional, but you're gonna want them. Just get them all. All right. Let's see about here. And so I think we're ready for another prize. That way Kathy can get that set up. See, we're getting, by the time
We're
we're done
actually-
this week, we're going to be professionals.
We're going to be good at this eventually.
Right now, we're just faking it.
Well, we did have our comedy segment with your thread cradle, so.
Yeah, have it. All right, so our last prize, for actually a prize online, this goes to Facebook. And again, this is for the Ginger Scissors. Beverly Smith, you're the winner of these scissors. So email customer service at morris-sew.com to claim your prize, and we'll send them to you. And if you're just joining us, how do you potentially win a prize? You like, share, or comment on both Facebook and YouTube, and we randomly draw it, and we'll announce it before the end. By the way, this live presentation, it will remain online till Memorial Day, so you can go back and rewatch this. But that doesn't mean that these machines are still available. So you want to call us right now, 1-800-865-9664. It's while supplies last. So in our local crowd here, Mary Schmidt. Mary, congratulations. Nice. Do I need a haircut? Some people say that. Not right now. All right, what are we doing here?
Okay, we're going to play with the stitch in the ditch micro inserts. What the heck is that? Okay, so remember how I put that one little insert in? I took the one out and I put the new one in. This is a set of 3, and they're stitch in the ditch. So I'm going to grab one, bring it out so that y'all can see it. Okay, easy for me to say. Here we go. Well, let's use this one. You use the one that you can get out. Okay. So now here it is. What it has is it has a little kind of prong coming out that you can use to help guide you to stitch along the edge.
Sorry, let me just do this.
No
here.
problem. Or
Ignore the guy with the
or
phone.
or in the middle, in a stitch in the ditch. And John, you're George, right?
I could be whatever you want.
If you turn around and see that one, the stitchery.
Right here?
Like there, yeah, you can show that one.
Oh,
That,
that's
I
right,
use
okay.
that as the regular stitch in the ditch. We know what stitch in the ditch is, right?
Okay, so all these rows, that guided you to go one layering, like stacking. Remember we used to do
Correct.
stitch stacking? That was a technique.
What?
We used to call it stitch stacking. But
Stitch stacking, exactly, George.
I like the intersection. There we go.
All right.
Pay no attention to my bruised thumbnail. That's ugly.
So come on back so the people at home can see.
Man, I can get lost in this one.
Okay, so here is my little insert, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slide it on in, and now I have an insert with a guide to the left.
So that's within the foot. That's
Within
a
the
patented
foot.
feature besides the swipers and other things. That's
Exactly.
a patented feature.
Patent the feature. So previously I made a wide, it was just right here. There it is, right here in my lap. Who knew? Okay, so previously I made a wide belt loop. Okay, there's the wide, not ignore that on the right because I did that earlier. There's just my wide belt loop. Okay, so I wanted to embellish that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch along the one side. I'm going to take it up, put it on in there. Now, this is not an overlock machine, but if you stitch along the side of something where the one needle hits on that outside edge, it gives you the look of an overlock stitch. So I'm going to take my stitch length down just a tiny bit so that you can see that. This guide helps me guide it so that the folded edge is just, this needle is just grazing that edge of it. And I'm actually embellishing my wide belt loop. I'm bringing it around so that you all can see it. So can you see that? Bring it on around so that you can see it. See how I added that extra little stitch on the side? Cool, right? But think about this. When I talked about purse handles, here's one that I did. I just took some fabric and I laid this wide belt loop on the top and I appliqued it down with that decorative stitch coming on either side of it. Even more, after I did that, I went with narrow, which means these two needles are a little bit closer together, and I stitched just along the edge. It's not an overlock stitch, but it kind of gives you the look that it's an overlock stitch coming on the edge. Here's the back. Now, remember when George put that really super fancy thread in there in the back? I could have put that super fancy thread on the back and had a super reversible, awesome purse handle. I know guys are sometimes hard to gift for. Couldn't this make a really neat guitar strap or even their computer bag strap? You can make it in like super masculine colors. And I think I did that. Let's see if I have that here somewhere. And it would be a great little extra, like a guy gift. I think I have to make, my husband plays guitar, so I have to make him a guitar strap. And here's another one that I did. This has that stitch in the middle, which was on that, just made the wide belt loop. You can see how that would be with the blue. I put this stitch on either side, and then I came back in with another stitch that's a narrow cover stitch. So I have 5 passes under here, but I took my belt loop, right, and I made it into something super, super special. Kind of like you can do that, like everyone seems to like the giraffe, and I do too. But see how that could be the right colors that could really add dimension and texture to this quilt. Really take it to the next level. Or take them and weave them like I did on the purse. And you can make your own, that's another trim that you could make. So let me finish this up and I'll pass this around for everybody in the building. And this one too. Look, we have all kinds of strings hanging on. Oh, here's another thing. So remember how I said when you're doing that belt loop, you have to watch it every time? Well, all I have to do is take my little finger right here and hold it against that little metal guide. And you can't see me on the thing, but you can see me here in the class. I'm not even watching. It holds it right along that edge. And look at that. It's not an overlock stitch, but imagine putting all the different threads in there. On the back, put that big fancy thread that George used, and you have a really fancy strap. I'm going to pass this around.
All right, I think we're ready for another prize.
I think we are.
So our last prize winner on, so I've got to ask my assistant here, which one is next? So you just do both? Wow. So she's awarding
Two prizes?
people online.
She's out of control.
She's out of control.
She's out of control.
All right. So we have, I love it when my staff makes decisions. Empower them. On YouTube, Mary Cohn, it's Koehn.
That's correct.
Okay. I know it. That's what it says. I'm wearing my glasses now.
Oh, I didn't see that.
So email customer service at moors-so.com to claim your prize. On Facebook, Jackie Weigel.
Let's spell it, George.
Wiegele. There we go. All right, and then locally here, and some of them are going out there going, "What did I win? What did I win?" Kathy Swagel. All right, let's get you your scissors. So you win a set of Ginger 10-inch shears.
Okay, so it's not appropriate for what you're doing, right? Because if you see this, I've gathered it. So don't do it on your table runner, but if you look on the right side of your machine, you have a little lever. Okay, let me see if I can show that to you. I can come over here and show that to you. On the right side of your machine, over here, you have a little lever. Okay, and it's on in. In stands for neutral, nothing, no gather. But this machine has a nice set of differential feed dogs. And Baby Lock kind of has an exclusive 2-to-1, which means that when you engage that lever, don't do it on your table runner, but when you engage that all the way up, it's going to truly gather 2-to-1. Have you ever gone around a corner and you look on the edge, if you've gone around the corner? Well, if you push the lever all the way down, that actually brings the fabric close together. No, the gather brings it close together. So when you're going around the corner, you use the gathering function. Have you, sorry, if you ever gone around, you've seen those little tops that have like that lettuce edge? You seen that, right? That really fancy lettuce edge. If you push the leather all the way down, it spreads the fabric apart because it delays that coming through there, and you get that cool lettuce edge. So I have a sewing tech talk that's coming up, and it's going to be in July or something like that. But it's the Easy Elegant Serger Shawl. So this is just a piece of chiffon fabric. That's all it is, right? So all I did was I drew some lines on here. I did the same stitch you're using, but I engaged that differential feed all the way up to make it gather. And all I did is just stitch down the rows, and it gathered rows. So you ever going into the restaurant, in the summer, and it's like 112 degrees outside, and it's muggy and all that stuff, and you go into the air conditioning, and what happens? You get cold, right? So you need a little something, something. So here's just a little something, something to add. It's super easy. It even fits in your purse. Now, the beauty of this little shawl is the fabric. So let me show you a couple others, which are kind of fun. Once again, this tech talk is going to come out, I think, probably in July. But this is burnout velvet, right? And in the corners, I did a little just a little bead to add a little bit of weight to the front of it. So I could see this for like a holiday party, right? Or a young girl going to the prom and they wear those strapless dresses and they always look like they're cold to me. I don't know. Or make it in white for a bride for the reception at the evening outside reception. But it's just a little something that hangs on your shoulders, super easy to do, right? So basically it's just the fabric talking. And here's one that's rayon. Kind of fun. And I just use the stitch we're doing in class, but I just engage that just to gather. This is probably maybe an hour and a half, 2-hour project, maybe at the most. Yes, ma'am. This machine does not do a rolled hem. That's the point that I'm coming to. So this is not a serger. George has been saying that over and over and over again. This is not a serger, so it's not going to do any of that. What you could do, however, have I showed you the, I have not showed you that attachment yet. There is an attachment called a single fold feller. And what that does is that takes that top fabric, rolls it under, and then you could do a hem somewhat very similar to the one that you're doing on your table runner. I think that should be my next demo, don't you think?
Yes.
And that means there's a prize. So let me get set up for that. And you guys, I see some beautiful stitching coming out. So I'll be right back. Let me get that set up for that demo.
Sure, okay. Okay, if you're just joining us, we're doing thread play with the Baby Lock Applaud with Kathy Brown from Sewing Tech Talk. And so we have a live event here. They're using the Baby Lock Applaud, and we've got these machines on special. The very models here, many people are buying them. We've got a few left. And the regular retail price on this is $44.99. The best you'll see out there is $34.99, and you can buy one of these machines for $31.49, and they're fully warranted. We're going to service it after we're done, and we have interest-free payments. We have free shipping across the country, and we're giving this incredible set of 10 accessories, and so that has a $349 value. So you can click on the link that we're going to post up here to order. You can call us at 1-800-865-9664. We're live right now, so that we'll answer that after 5 o'clock Pacific time on Wednesday the 21st, because that's where we're live. Then it'll go to voicemail, and then we will call you right back. But again, this is while supplies last, and we have just a classroom and another one that's set up just with these machines. You can also email us at customerservice@moores-sew.com. Good, you found water. So what are you setting up, Kathy?
I am selling this is really cool. This is a single downturn feller. Now remember when we've done the other.
That's a nice looking feller.
It's a fancy fella. So,
I've been watching Yellowstone too much.
It's a fancy feller. Okay, so if you've noticed that when I did that belt loop back earlier in the session, I just attached it with these two attachment screws that come with the machine. What this does is it'll take the fabric and turn it under. Now, what a cover stitch does, why is it called a cover stitch? Well, it's called a cover stitch because it makes that cover on the back. It has those interlocking threads that covers the raw edge. So what I can do is I can take a fabric. Now, I've finger pressed in a little crease, so I kind of know where I want it to be. When you put it on here, it's going to manipulate that fabric and turn that fabric down so that I'm stitching this edge down. Kind of like when you double fold a hem, you kind of don't have to with this because those cover stitch threads cover that raw edge on the back. So when I bring it up like this, what I'm going to do is adjust it and make sure I'm going to hit. I've put this little micro insert back on so I can see where my needles are going to hit. And I'm going to lower my presser foot along the edge. My goal is to kind of stitch that raw edge down, but the fabric is going to be pre-folded with this attachment in the front. Once again, this comes with that set with the machine. And that, how many feet are in that set?
There's 10, and that I was going to ask you, that comes in that set.
That comes in that set. That comes in that set. I did say that. So I'm going to increase my stitch length just a little bit so we got it going here. And here we go. Let's see if I did it right. Now this one I do watch just a little bit because I want to make sure I have that fold going right in there.
That is so cool.
And it just takes it all the way down to the back. Let's see how I did. Well, would you look at there? It's pretty mighty okay. So I did get a little bit of that raw edge, but once again, I'm on live Facebook to thousands. So there we go, and right along there, that covers that. And on this side, there is that stitching going down. So this is the edge of your hem. Now, for those people here in class, we're using a table runner, and you still want to show this, George. We have a table runner that already has that hem done. Where'd you go?
I'm right here. That's a good shot. By the way, if you go to our website, and we'll click it there, we have these table runners available, blanks, and they can order them.
Excellent. So look what they have done commercially.
Oh, you want me to?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, see, this is what they've done. See, they've covered that with edge too, right? See how they've done it? Okay, so what we can do, get this table runner has a pre-done edge, but in class, and they're using that. But imagine you're just using a nice, beautiful piece of heavier fabric to make your table runner. You could completely do your decorative stitching here, and then turn that under, and that will be the hemmed edge on either end of your table runner. So you can make this a fast, quick, and easy project, even if you don't get the pre-made table runner, because this turns that edge under, and it would take all of these would be turned under just like that and covered over on the back. So I love this attachment. It's really good.
Nice, very nice. I think that I need to give away a prize.
I think you need to give away a
All
prize.
right, let me go do that. Give me a second. Give me a second. Kathy, we have some questions, so I'm going to ask those questions first. The first one is, could you explain which feet come in the kit and which are purchased? That's a great thing. So
what a great
let's
idea
have you do that
is.
And you can probably, the view this way is actually pretty good.
All right, let me get it on up here. Okay, bring it on in. Okay, let's do that. And I have some that I'm actually doing demos on, so I'll bring those over. Okay, so the kit comes with this instruction book.
Okay, so let's hold that up. Yeah, this you see it there. Okay.
Yeah, there's the instruction book. And for every foot, there's clear.
So that's probably the best way to show all the feet.
That's what I'm thinking.
You're a genius.
I'm pretty well, no, but not my first rodeo. Okay, so the belt loop binder we've already shown on the video, right? Now this is an attachment, so you can use this with when you're using your wipers, right? When you're doing that. Now, but the machine also comes with just a standard foot, and you can replace those feet. So this foot snaps on and off, and if you're just doing the cover stitch without the decorative threads, this is a clear foot to see exactly where you're going. And actually, all the instructions give you suggestions for all the different things that it's good for. This is the double fold bias binder. I have not shown that, but it folds that fabric around the edge. And once again, I could use that with that decorative stitching. Now, this is the fabric hemming and guide set. What does that mean? So say you're doing some curtains or something like that, and you want a super deep hem, but you want it to stay even, that guide set will help you get that stitched on there nice and evenly from the edge. I'm going to show this foot absolutely next. This is pretty cool. Who's ever seen Crocodile Dundee?
Yeah.
Yeah? What does he say? He goes, oh, no, that's a knife.
He said
right?
a lot of things.
Well, he says a lot of things, right? He says, that's a knife. Well, that's a binder. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying. Look at that.
A binder.
That's a binder. Now that's a binder.
Okay.
So it comes with two sizes, and I'm going to be showing you one here just shortly. This is the plain hemmer. Now this takes that edge and brings it up to the top as opposed to the one I just showed, which takes it to the back, and that's this one. This is a single fold bias binder. A lot of things are doing the manipulation of the fabric. So this takes it and curves it on the top, but makes it flat on the bottom. So it's a really nice, elegant binding. And the Teflon foot. So if you ever want to sew on, say, a plastic or something that's kind of sticky, then that's the great foot to use, because it's actually going to slide over the top. And if you've ever made purses where you have the different, oh, actually, look at this. Here's the kit. Here's the kit. And see what they've done. They've sewn on the top of that vinyl, right?
Oh, there we go.
So I could take, with this, I've sewn zippers down. See, I've sewn zippers down onto fabric, but what if you want to make a pocket like this and sew the zipper down to the vinyl? So you could use that foot for that, and that would be a great application of that. And I'm actually going to show you that that's a binder right now.
And another question is, which feet the Triumph Ovation can be used? And the answer to that is pretty much any of them that has to do with the cover stitch function.
Correct.
On the Ovation or the Triumph. And then we'll show again after you're done here. Let me give away a prize, because we might be able to get another prize after that.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
All right. So that, and that way you can attach that. Celeste Wall from YouTube won our last prize, and the next local winner is Kristen Vasquez. Congratulations, Kristen. Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So as she's setting that up there, another question was, what additional feet? There are lots of additional feet available for this. The kit that was included, or that we're including, is the most popular. But like you are showing a binder attachment, there are different sizes of those. Isn't that correct? Okay. And there's different downturn fellers. So you can always add. But the most, I think if you wanted to add to this kit that we're offering, the most appealing are these exclusive inserts, because the foot, as she showed again, and we can go back and show it again, the insert comes out and you can replace it, like for the cording or the stitch in the ditch. So those two items, and you can get those online. I believe it on our website. If you are on our website, you can actually click and add these to your purchase. And I think it's $44.95. Fatima, if you can look and verify that for me online, that would be great. And so that one, and then the stitch in the ditch foot as well. So, and you're almost ready. And then
I'm almost ready.
Okay.
I'm actually, in fact, I'm actually ready.
All right.
Okay, so now this is that's a binder. There's two of them included in the kit. There's two others that are available. And one, this is the largest. There's one that's the smallest. They are, this is the, I'd have to look up the numbers, George,
It's
but
big.
this is a pretty hefty binding, one smaller. There's one that's in the middle. There's also a new one. This is going to fold the fabric around to the back and the top and the bottom. We'll take that out in a second. So both of the ends are folded in like that. See that? Both of the ends are going to be folded in like that. The new one folds the top. I'm doing hand gestures here, and it leaves that bottom flat. And so that's going to be covered by that cover stitch on the back, right? So that's a new one. And so I have it. I hope you can see. So I didn't put it all the way in. So it comes here and it turns the corner. This is based on the binding feet that they use industrially. So you know, if it's used industrially, it's fast, quick, and easy. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to insert it in, and because it turns the corner, it's going to control that fabric. The fabric I'm going to bind, I'm sitting on in close to this edge right here, and it's going to be just pulled on through, and the binding's going to be wrapped around it. Now over here on this side, you have this little swiggly piece of metal, right? So what happens is you kind of put it through like that, and it manages your fabric. So you're not necessarily looking in two places at once. Yes, you're going to want to check over here occasionally. If I'm doing a very long binding project, for example, how many people made 5,000 masks, right? Back in the day, right? So when I did that, I used the narrow, smaller one of this, and I had a giant roll. You can actually buy a giant roll of pre-cut fabric, right? I just had it over here, and it just kept feeding in. And I did I put the thing together, and then I inserted the mask, and I just came on off. I hope I don't have to make masks anytime again soon. Let's all hope we don't have to do that. But this is the attachment I used. I just used the smaller one. Now, when I'm stitching, I've set the machine up, because you can move it side to side, right? I've set the machine up so I'm stitching, because I'm using that decorative stitch. I'm stitching so the left needle is on the fabric and the right needle is on the binding. So as I'm stitching, I'm getting a really cool decorative effect. Sorry, George. So what does that look like? Look at that. Isn't that fun? So that's the top, could be the top of your quilt. I'm going to use this binding attachment to go around.
Show it across there.
Okay.
They can see it.
So I'm going to use this to go around a jacket, because you could make this bias go around a jacket as that extra little something on there. And I don't have decorative thread in the back, but I could I not? I could have decorative thread back here, so that jacket lapel, when it comes back, would look really look really
So
fun.
cool. There was one other question. They wanted me to show the strap that Kathy just showed up close.
The one, I passed it around, so let's go. Who has the strap that I just passed around? George is going to come up with the George Cam.
Is it around? It's down this way. All right, we'll figure that one out and come back to you.
Or is it this one? Is it this
Maybe,
one? Is it this
maybe,
one? Is this the
maybe.
one they want to see?
Let's see here. I think so. That's probably. That's not. I love that. That would be a great
Guitar strap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or a belt.
Yeah, that's right. Very cool. All right.
We'll find the other one too. There's another one that went around
Very
as
cool.
well. Okay, I'm going to take the binder off. That's a binder. That's a binder.
Now that, it's a raw edge depending on what side, but it's coloring.
Correct. So let me stitch it off. Let me stitch it off here, and I'll show you. So I have it unattached, so it's going to be kind of goofy here. Okay. Let me take it off. So maybe I can give you the visual. Everyone, the visual. So I took it off, and you can see what happens is it was stitching it down. The fabric would have in there that I would have been binding, right? But you see how it turns both of those edges of the raw edge of the fabric into the inside. It's a double fold binder, yes. Now the one that I don't have to show that's new, what it does is it folds that top under like that, so that you're stitching it with this, and it leaves that bottom flat to be covered with the cover stitch. And that means it's going to be a little bit flatter. It's going to be a little bit flatter binding than the double fold. And this is available in three different sizes. And here it is, and I'll pass that around so that you guys can see. Here's the one I did earlier. Okay.
So if you're just tuning in, we're in the classroom here at Moore's Brea, and people are enjoying the Baby Lock Applaud. Now, a lot of them, as you see, have red tags on them. Rita, you're getting a machine. Oh, no. Hey! And so back there, we've got people getting. Okay, so some of these are from yesterday, too. So, again, we have just a limited number of these machines that are being purchased. Some from the people here, some from. Did you get one here? Yeah. No, maybe thinking about it. I know you are. Did you? Oh, you got one? Yeah. Okay. So if you're online, you have the opportunity to purchase these machines. So let's pop that up there, Cameron, just to kind of remind people. Yep. I guess I should pay attention to where my camera's going. There we go. All right, so you see, that's the George Cam. Can we pop up the price there, Cameron? Okay, so again, we have this on special. The event machines are brand new. We open up for the event, and we'll be shipping them out to you nationwide at the price of $31.49. That's coming down from the retail price of $44.99. We have interest-free payments, as you see there, and we have free shipping across the country. And it comes with this accessory bag of 10 different accessory feet that we've been showing. This has a value of $350. But you want to hurry up and contact us. You can click on the link to order. You can email customer service at moors-sew.com or call us at 1-800-865-9664. We are live now, but at 5 o'clock Pacific time on Wednesday the 21st. Then it goes to voicemail, but we call you back usually the very next day. But we want to get you in on this special because this is lower than what we can offer on a normal basis. So are we having fun? All right. So let me go grab another prize. I think we're ready for another prize.
Is this going to be available? Can I show? Is this going to be available online?
Yeah.
Okay. It might not be yet.
Let me see.
That's fine.
Is this online yet? Okay, go ahead and unmute me. All right, so another winner on Facebook, Debbie Lindsay. You win the Ginger G10 scissors. And just email customer service at moors-sew.com. And we have a winner here. Got a lot of winners. June Mecker. Oh, that's a winner. Congratulations, June.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
They go with my new summer.
Ah, very
Sit
cool.
around the piece with the
What do you think? Do you like this type of class? You know, I brought this up earlier, and some people got it, but this reminds me of free skate. I remember going to the roller skating rink, and they said free skate. You just kind of go and do whatever you want. Some of you are doing it. Some of you are staying on the line, and some are going all the way. It kind of, we can actually, this could be like a psychology class. We can tell what you are in your thought process by how you sew.
Uh-oh, we're in trouble.
Oh boy.
Okay, I have a question. I'm going to answer that in a little tiny bit, but I want to show you. Remember that I told you that when I did that binder, that there's a new one, right? There's a new one. It just does it flat on the bottom. Well, this is how fast things are coming out. So I came down and I saw this and I said, George, I've never seen this. He goes, oh, it's new. It just came out, right? So you can just, you're some of the first to see new just came out. So let me show this up here. I'm coming down. So what this is a cord guide plate, okay? And it looks like this. Now, some of you out there do have maybe a Triumph or something like this. Will work on those machines as well. We have been putting cords on the top, have we not? Right? We're putting it towards. How about being able to put a cord also on the bottom? Right? When we talk about reversible fabrics on this machine, this machine's awesome for those reversible fabrics. So this is how it works. So it goes on the bed of your machine. Hold on. Get this one put away so I don't lose it. So it goes on the bed of your machine with those attachment screws. Instead of manipulating fabric, it's going to guide the cords. And I have two. This is that, what is that called? Sugar and cream yarn, basically, just very inexpensive cotton yarn. And I have two of those. And what you can do is you can put them in the little guide holes on the bottom. And then you can adjust it so that those are coming right under to where your cover stitch is going to be. Once again, if you do have a Triumph serger or any one of the sergers that does a cover stitch, you can use this attachment with that. This is so new. It's not online for us yet, but we just talked to the amazing online person.
I've got an idea.
Yeah.
Okay. Bottom of the back there, already taking on this here.
Yeah.
If anybody would like to get this here, Fatima, what's the price on it online? $14.99. That's inexpensive.
I know.
But if you $14.99, that works on the Triumph,
Mhm.
They'll work on
Any cover stitch.
any cover stitch. So that's the any baby lock cover stitch.
Mhm, mhm.
So if you want, okay, we'll go hold on. And I'm going to tell people here locally a very special price for that. And if people online. Oh, Mike, thank you. I muted myself. Not locally. All right, there we go. So $14.99. So that's the price. And I've got a special for everybody here. But if you're interested in this and you want us to send you a special link on the special item, put your email address on Facebook or YouTube, and we'll send you a special invite on this here because that's an incredible new product.
Okay, so here it is. So I have it. So yeah, you're not seeing them, right? But they are being guided underneath my cover stitch. At least that's what we're shooting for. So it's coming up and it's coming down like that. I've never used this before, so this might be just like George's thread cradle.
Well,
let's see what we're doing.
The rule is you never show something you've never done.
That's right.
That
but
was not good grammar.
This is the exception to the rule.
Does this bother you?
No, not at all. Actually, there they come.
So
I can't wait to see what this does.
The cording is on the. That's so cool. Now I wonder if you can do top and well, maybe you probably could do top and bottom if you're a glutton for punishment.
Okay, now there it is. There's the
So you
top.
can't see it.
It worked.
That's awesome.
Who knew? Can you guys see that? It worked. Okay, so now what else could I use this for? What if I'm making a garment and I have my sleeve, right? And I'm putting a cord in there and I want to pull up that cord after I've made my sleeve, or put elastic in there so I have that. So this is the edge of that sleeve and I have the decorative stitching, but on the bottom I have either a cord that I can pull up or I have like an elastic or something. I'm thinking about that, a polar fleece, right? Polar fleece, and you have those cord locks. And for those of you who live in snowier parts of the country, we know of snow here. We've heard of it as a concept.
We have mountains.
But those of you
We have mountains.
all
Come
across
on.
the country, you may want to have something that you can draw up. So you could put that in there. That would be awesome, to put a cord in there to draw it up and have it and have a great sleeve function. Or once again, making that reversible fabric, right? Oh my gosh, got to have one of these. So how do they get that, George? They put a special link, or how does that work?
No, just put your email in the comments. Say, send me information on that. That was the what's it called?
This is the cord guide plate.
Cord guide plate. Okay, yeah, just and we'll send you a special invite on that plate. Okay, we have a question. It says, and I think you were showing this before. How do you finish the edges? So that will be something. Maybe you can show that technique with the little puller thing at your next. Like if they sew off the edge of the fabric, and all you have.
Oh
is
yeah,
the
yeah,
shape.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that can be done at the next time. So I'll let you get
Correct.
set up for that. Okay.
Correct. And I have another question too. We'll answer that one as well.
All right. Very good. So let's go ahead and go to the Cheryl cam. See how Cheryl's going.
The thicknesses of the stitches.
Okay.
It's just to create different effects. So I've done a couple different ones.
So you're doing different stitch lengths. Is that what you're doing? Okay. That's very cool.
Yeah, and I'm going to do a tight one.
Nice.
So I just do a tight one. But
It's
you
a
don't wanna-
tough job, but somebody has to do it.
But you don't want to use thick thread.
Well, when you go
this-
closer, you're
when you
right.
Go this close.
I've learned that too.
I
So
did that yesterday.
the comment, Cheryl's just playing with the different stitch lengths to get different variations. And when you use a real thick thread, you got to watch that, because the thicker the thread, it brings it in. So, but yet when that happens, oh well, you just cut the thread and start over. That's why you practice. You play, thread play, right? Okay. And so the other thing, we're just using 2 threads on the top, 2 needles. And we wanted to do that just to kind of give you the simplicity of just to start with it. But you can also use 3 needles. You can use 2 that's narrow. I actually like the narrow very nicely, and that have it a little longer, and it almost looks like little circles when you have it. And sometimes that done with, I think, 1 thread no, actually 2 threads on the too narrow, really is beautiful. And then the top stitch. I think you showed some top stitch, or are you going to, okay. That on denim or highlighting on a purse. So there's so many variations of this here. So I think I want you to start thinking through this, and I want you not to be afraid to try things, because that's how you learn on these things. And so I actually believe that everybody needs this machine sitting right next to whatever machine they have at home. I think it would enhance. Don't you think so? Yes. Yeah, very good. How are we doing?
We're doing great. Okay, so I believe this was the question. I'm going to answer, and I have another one coming as well.
Let's go to the Kathy cam this way.
Okay, how do you do the edge? Well, once again, I showed the single downturn feller, and I had stitched off the edge here. And all I did is I took my little scissors and I just trimmed those edges even with the raw edge. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to finger press down just a little bit, because what I'm shooting for is that bottom, that interlocking threads on the bottom to cover this raw edge. So I've reattached the single downturn feller, and I'm going to put this in, slide it on in, slide it on in. Now that I have extra threads there, it's going to take a little bit extra to go in, but I have it in, and I'm going to fold it on over. There we go. Okay, so now it's in. And my adjustment is here. I'm going to adjust to make sure that I can hit and cover that raw edge. One thing to know about this attachment is you can make you can't see it underneath there, but you could make a super deep hem with it. It has a nice big space under it. It looks to me to be about an inch and a half. Underneath there, you can have that raw edge way over here. So here we go. We have it just like that. I'm going to raise my presser foot, scoot my fabric on pretty mighty close. Now, what we've been doing in class is I have my wipers engaged, but I'm going to want to bury these threads. Can you see how my threads are kind of goofy, right? So before I have this fabric coming in, I'm going to take my lever and put it down.
So the lever's back there.
The lever's back here. It's kind of hard to see. It's underneath. If you're in sewing position, it's easy to find, but on camera, maybe not so much. So I'm just going to stitch a little bit, and because those wipers are not going, do you see how that released my threads, right? So they're not interlocking anymore. That means when I'm burying on the back, I pretty much as close as I have to have individual threads to bury, and it's not going to be heavy and thick. So when I bring my little guy up, I'm going to lower it down so I can see that my needles are just going to catch that folded edge. I'm going to re-engage the wipers by just flipping this lever up, just like that. I flip it in the up position. Now when I'm stitching, what's going to happen is it's now going to catch that edge, and the wipers are going to go.
And that's finished the other side.
And that's not only giving me that neat decorative thread on the top, but hopefully if I did this correctly, look at that. Well, sort of mostly correctly. I have it so that I'm covering that back right there.
Nice.
Of course, again, I'm taking time when I'm home, right? Yeah. And I'm not going yamma, yamma, yamma.
And you don't have a phone in front of your face.
And I don't have
like
a phone in front of my face. So the other question I have, now I need to find out, I passed around when I did that binding. Is that out there amongst you guys when I did that binding on the edge of the red fabric?
Yes. Where is that?
We're gonna repossess that.
Gotcha.
The one question I had is, how does the binder work on corners?
Let's see here.
So the binder on corners, I'm going to give you the scoop on that.
I don't think I have it.
What happens is,
That's not it.
Oh, that's not it. Okay, so let me see if I can get set up for that then. Okay, here's the binding without the fabric.
I found it.
Oh, good, it's coming. Now that's a binder.
That's it?
That's it. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to show it on both cams, hopefully. So here we come on in, and the question was, how does the binder work on corners? That's always been a point of contention with binders, because what happens is the fabric is feeding on through. The fabric is feeding through, and to turn a corner, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to turn it like this, yes? So I'm going to be absolutely honest with you. Turning a corner with a binder is absolutely possible. It is something you're going to want to do some practice with, because what you're going to do is you're going to be stitching up. You're going to need to stop the distance that the binding is wide. Does that all make sense to everybody? Right? Then what you're going to do is you're going to release your, especially on this machine, you're going to release your threads like we just talked about. Give it a little wiggle, and you're going to want to pull enough fabric and enough thread to turn that corner. Then you're going to take the fabric and kind of pull it back a little bit so that you get that edge coming on up here. This is something you're going to want to practice. It's going to take a little bit to get that corner, that fabric, exactly coming around this corner here and everything lying correctly. Take your little Allen wrench, make sure your corners are coming in, you're kind of tucked in, and that's a way to turn a corner. Can I give you an easier way right now? Wouldn't that be nice?
Yes, Kathy, give us an easier way.
Wouldn't that be nice? One way that I found, because this is really fast to do your binding. So if you take a little bit of extra time to do something extra on the corners, I don't think that's a waste. So here's one way to do that. Let me trim this corner. So you could do the two parallel opposite corners, then set your binder up again and come in this way. Come in this way, start your stitching, and then everything's going to be turned under, obviously.
Tuning in, yes, we know she doesn't have a binder foot on, but she's just doing an example.
We're just doing an example. So you could start right in here, stitching on under, then you'll have this fabric here. I would turn it under, take it to the back, and just do a little stitch under there just to hold it under.
Yeah.
That's a quick, fast, and easy way to do a
Absolutely.
corner with a binder. It's not going to be,
And everybody's still going to look at it and go, wow.
wow, what have you done?
Yeah,
Right?
I mean, that's the
Right. It's not a turn corner, but a turn corner is something that you're going to get. If you give me a picture of a turn corner, I'm going to send you an advanced degree. How does that sound?
Yeah.
I'm going to send you an
Well, no,
advanced degree certificate.
Picture of a turn corner that they actually did.
Exactly. It's totally possible, but it's going to take a little bit of practice. And that's always been the case. That's always been the case. Now, the other thing, did you give a prize for that, George?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll be
All
there in a
right.
second.
You ready for another one? How much time do we have? How much time do we have left to give a prize?
We have,
About a half an hour?
okay, I've got a prize that to announce for the last one, and I've got 2 more prizes left.
Okay.
So the last prize was one on YouTube by Cheryl Estes. And so email us at customerservice@moores-sew.com. Okay, so another question. What is the name of the new binder that leaves the fabric flat on the bottom?
I have to look that up.
I have to look it up. We'll look that up.
It would be okay, let me show you the name of this one. It'll be a similar name, but it won't be double fold. So I can probably figure that out.
A single fold?
It was going to be, no. Okay, can we bring this up, Cameron? Can we bring this up? Okay, so the one that folds both is a knit woven double fold bias binder. And there's the code, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm guessing it's going to be the knit woven single fold
Well, that's what I said.
bias binder.
Let me find that out.
But you
Okay.
didn't have all these other cool words around it.
Okay. All right. So yeah, we'll look that new binder shortly. But I have a prize winner here, and let me grab this prize. All right. So there's 2 more prizes. This one and another one. And online, you have the chance if you like, share, or comment. And there's 2 more chances after this, or including this. So Rita Cantrell, you won this.
Yay!
Well, see, you bought a new Applaud, so you can tell everybody that you've got a great deal on scissors at over $3,000 and got an Applaud for free. You're welcome. So, like, share, or comment, and you have a chance to win there on Virtual Land. So we'll find out about that.
Okay, so now we've been playing in class. We've been playing with a wide we've been playing with a wide cover stitch, right? Which means we have a needle. This is called needle C1, C2, and C3. Okay, because there can be 3 needles in here. We've been playing with needles in the C1 and C3 position. I can put another needle in the middle and I have a triple cover stitch. Now, actually, that really changes the look of this stitch. So if I'm going to grab, let me grab real quick. You all have a quick threading guide. I'll be right back. Here we go. Okay, this is the quick reference threading guide that comes with the machine. And what's really neat, it gives you a visual of all, not all, but many of the different combinations that you can do, right? So over here, we have like a single thread, and then I'm going to come over here just to a single thread, and then there's just one going back and forth. You have wide and narrow, but here's that triple, and it actually changes a little bit of the look of that stitch, having that middle thread in there. But I'm going to refer to a sewing tech talk that I did, and it was called Baby Lock Sergers Bet You Didn't Know. Because when George talked about doing that thicker thread in the bottom, I go through all of that. And oh, by the way, there's a handout as well. But this is not a serger. I get it, but it's in the Baby Lock Serger family. And so many of the innovations that they have had with sergers came into this one. And of course, they piled more on top of it as well, right? So I'm going to go down to a narrow cover stitch. And I want to show you kind of a cool trick. When you look at this machine, if we can come on over to here, when you're looking at this machine, and I don't know if the guy can see it at home because George is over there, but he'll come up, we can do it again. So I have 3 different paths for the 3 different needle threads, right? So technically, the thread comes down here for the left needle, the thread comes down here for the right needle, and the thread would come down here for the middle needle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these needles and just move it on over. Does it matter which one? Not really. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Allen wrench. This is how you loosen your needle. I'm actually going to lift it up, because when I lift up that presser foot, I could stomp on the power pedal all I want and it's not going to go. So I'm not going to get a needle in my finger, right? That would be bad form. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to take and I'm going to loosen one of these needles. Take it straight down. It's still threaded. I haven't done anything. And I'm going to put it in the next slot over. Push it all the way up. And use my Allen wrench to tighten it up. So now I have a narrow cover stitch. You see that? Because I moved it over. Now this stitch is going to look different because now it's a little bit narrower. I could have just as easily moved this narrow. It could be these 2 needles or these 2. It does not matter, right? Now, remember up here when I said we have the 3 different slots? And if I have thread coming down to that needle, I have it in that slot. And remember that, right? So I just moved this needle over to here. Do I need to move that thread over there? What do you think? It's a yes or no? No, I really don't have to. If I want to, I can. But the machine's going to be just fine with that thread coming right down into that slot. It's going to work just fine. It's a miracle. It's amazing. I don't have to do all kinds of readjusting. So if I'm changing and using this machine, and this works with all the Baby Lock sergers as well, I don't necessarily have to move it over to get that. Now, if I'm doing some special stitch, like some of the sergers do a wave stitch, yes, this path is going to be important. But in this case, it isn't. So I just move that over. I'm going to close this up. And when I go, I'm just going to be doing a narrow cover stitch, which is going to look a little bit different. So let me use my scissors. So I don't know if you can you see the difference between the stitch? Now it's a narrow one. I really like this stitch. It's not kind of a delicate little addition. And when I did my little belt loop thing, that's this little stitch in here. I just shortened the stitch length and I used variegated thread and I got that really fun stitch in between the 2. Pretty neat, right? So remember, I didn't have to move that over. It stitched just fine. Now, if I want to do that top stitching that I think is pretty neat, That's a single thread with these 2 threads, decorative threads woven through it. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take out any one of the threads. It could be in any one of the needles. It does not matter. It may matter if you're using that stitch in the ditch foot and you want to be a certain distance away, right? Let's just take out this needle on the right. Loosen it up, take it out. Notice I didn't take the thread out because if I drop it, guess what? It's held, right? And I haven't lost it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that needle away. I'm going to clip that thread. And this time I am actually going to take that thread out because I don't want to have a thread flopping around, right? So it's this thread. I'm going to raise my presser foot and just back that thread out. Now I am down to a single thread, needle thread. And here, let's do that fun top stitching. I've seen this done on a purchased jean jacket, just going over the top stitching. And and remember, you can use all kinds of weights of thread in these wipers. So using a beefier thread really gives a good look. And I'm going to give you a hint of what I've done some. Is have you ever had, who has like some crochet cotton, right? Crochet cotton. I have all kind of, my aunt passed away and I inherited her collection of crochet cotton. I've used crochet cotton in the wiper and it waves it through that single stitch. It's really a cool look. So now I have a single needle and you wouldn't think you would get much of a cool effect, but you really do. Look at how fun that is. Can you see that? See how fun that is? Now imagine that with that thicker crochet cotton thread. Now I used my chain stitch for quilting all the time. Because can you see how it gives that neat definition as it's coming in there? And that's what I want on my quilts. I want that definition to see that it's quilted. So I do that. And then on the back, I get that chain stitch. And I use a fancy thread in there as well. So you can get some really neat effects when you're doing even just quilting your quilts, because you do have a pretty decent throat space here, right? So that's that top stitch. So how's that sound, George?
Sounds great. Sounds great. So I want to go back over and we're going to put up the website to show you where people can go to your videos.
Okay.
All right. So Cameron, go full screen to our computer over here. All right, so there's moors-sew.com. And so this is our front page and got the different events. And we used to have this here, but now we have a banner up on top. So there's Kathy. And so you go to our website, click on Kathy. If Kathy doesn't show up, you just keep paging over to the different banners we have. And so right here, there's Kathy. I click this, and now, I just dropped my phone. There's the page, and I think that was the very first video you did an introduction of that. So that was I think it was May or June 2020.
Something like that.
Yeah. So when you do this, look at all these videos. So again, all these are different videos going back to so many different versions of serger videos. We've got the print moda, the trifecta of creativity. We've got all different types of things on the Altair, the Vesta. That Vesta is still an amazing
machine. Go back up, George.
This one.
Go back up a little bit. Okay, stop. See on the left, there's that serger weaving.
Okay, so here's serger. Okay, that was an episode. So we click on that. It has the video. Oh, we got to go back and put it on there. Oh, so bottom and make a note of that one. That one is, we need to relocate.
Leave it to me to pick the one.
I know. So yeah, nothing exactly perfect, but let's just pick a serger bindings.
There you go.
There's one. Okay, so there is one on special bindings. Okay, now you have it right to the right of it. First of all, it shows all the different special items that are related that you might want based on that video. But then this has your handout. Look at that. And look, I mean, you put so much work in this, Kathy. I want to compliment the time and how professional it is. I mean, I know my customers appreciate, because a lot of them follow you, but nationwide, I get to hear this all the time. So you're able to download this based on that.
How many pages is that, George?
Sheesh.
Boy, I was typing a lot, wasn't I?
And you know, this is priceless. Do you know why?
6 pages.
Do you know why it's priceless? There's not
It's
a
free.
price on it. It should be. So the point is that we're offering this on our website. That you can also go to a YouTube channel or Facebook, but this is a way that we've made it easier. Just from our front page, you can go and view that, and you can also sign up for our list for advance notices on that there. So I just want to compliment you, Kathy, on how professional you are, and we love how you teach us wonderful things.
Thank you, George. Oh, thank you, George.
All right,
That's very
so
kind.
let's do a customer announcement here. I want to tell people why they're tuning in.
Is this our last prize?
We got one more after
Okay.
this. Okay, we got 15 minutes of our event. So if you're just tuning in, we've been sewing now for 2 hours and 45 minutes. It doesn't seem like that, does it, ladies? You're having fun. So at the very end, we're going to have you all come up and show your placement. We're almost there yet.
Oh, the pressure's on.
And then, but we're going to wait to give the prize at that point. But if you're just tuning in, we have the thread play on the Baby Lock Applaud with the host of Sewing Tech, Kathy Brown. That's what we've been doing here. And this will be a recorded. We're finishing up in about 15 minutes or ish. And this will be on Facebook and YouTube until Memorial Day, because I have to take that down Memorial Day after that, because the special price, number one, we may sell out, but the special price is only allowed through that time while supplies last. We are selling the models that these enthusiasts have been enjoying on, and they are brand new machines. We opened up just for this event, and they have a retail price of $44.99. They are on sale, not $34.99, but $31.49 while supplies last. We have interest-free payments. We're offering free shipping across the country. But wait, there's that bonus. We're giving 10 specially selected accessories for the Baby Lock Applaud that has a value of $349. And currently, through 5 o'clock tonight, which is May 21st, Wednesday, at 5 p.m. Pacific time, we actually are live on the phone. So you can call and place your order if you feel that's what you want to do. You can click on the link to order it. You can email customer service at moors-sew.com. Say hi to Lorena. That's my lovely wife.
you.
She'll
You're
help
amazing.
you
I
out
should-
there.
I should
But
look in my eyes.
get your Baby Lock Applaud. If you want to see this whole thing, it's actually still going to be there, so you can go back and watch it. And so tune in. Let's give away another prize. I'll be right back.
Woo!
Okay, so one more to pick up. Okay, so we got to plan it, because I want to announce the prize for the last winner, and we've got one more pair of scissors. But we have, what else do we have to show?
I'm going to talk about athleisure wear.
Okay, so I know them. Once I give away the last prize, they're going to go, I'm not paying attention anymore. No, just kidding. No, I know. I'm just joking. So I'm going to announce the winner of the last one on Facebook. We've been going back and forth between YouTube and Facebook. Paulo Roney, Roney. You're the winner of those Ginger G10 scissors. Email customer service at moors-sew.com, and we'll get you those scissors here. So prior to our very last one, and what I want to do is I'm going to have, so I can announce both winners. We have one last pair of scissors on both here and online. So get your liking, your sharing, your commenting. This was awesome. Let's do it again. Those comments. Kathy's awesome. That's a big
go
win.
on.
Yeah.
No, really, go on.
Yeah. So all those comments, we won't look at. We're going to randomly pick up, but we just want to see all that. So we're going to have you show this function.
Now, I'm not sure. I might need a clarification. Now, this thread is called Aeroflock.
Yes, Aeroflock. It's
a textured polyester.
Yes, so Aerolock is their regular thread, okay, by Madeira. Remember, woolly nylon used to. It's hard to find woolly nylon anymore. I don't know if it's.
Well, it's nylon. And the thing is, nylon is not heat resistant.
Okay,
So
but it's flexible.
it is. Well, here's the reason I brought it up. I don't know if we sell this online. That's the clarification.
We
I
don't.
thought we sold an assortment. Anyway,
It was a sort
I'll
of-
let you guys check that out. But why do I bring this up? Because if you've looked at any high-end athletic wear, you're going to find athletic wear with a special stitch, right? And what that stitch is that is 2 pieces of fabric that have been overlapped, right? And then the stitching is here on the top and the stitching is here on the bottom. And this seam is nice and flat, and it's used with a special thread that reduces chafing, because don't you need that when you have athletic wear, right? Right? So what does that sound like to you? Stitching on the top, stitching on the bottom. I wonder if we have a machine that would do that. Yes, we do now, right? So this thread, you would use it in the cover stitch looper, and then you would use 1 or more in those wiper threads, and then you would get that special stitch that they use in that athletic wear. Okay. Now that sounds great. Maybe you're not making athletic wear. I understand. So what I've done is I've used that in my quilts. And here is one. Let me see if I can hold it up so that you can see it. Can I hold it up like this, Cameron? Can we be okay with that? Is that good? Okay. Okay, put it right in front of the great and powerful Oz tells me to put it right in front of my machine too. So there we go. Maybe you can't see it. I'll bring it down so that you can see it. Here's what I did on this, and I have the quilt behind me. We can show that. But on some of these fabrics, I just did some basic stitching, right? And I used those metallic threads. We talked about those earlier, the metallic threads that misbehave. But they're still in your collection, are they not? You don't want to get rid of them, right? But they don't like anything else, right? They have the death wish. So what I did is I took 2 silver metallic threads and some light gray thread in those needles, and I just stitched across my fabrics randomly. You'll see that best in the quilt. Then after I sewed my block together, I just stitched over that seam. But I got to thinking, has any of you here or out in virtual land made one of those quilts where you take the fabric and you just kind of lay your stacks together, you know what I'm talking about, and just do random cuts, and then you sew it back together, right? So when you do that, everything comes off kind of wacky, right? So what about this? What if you did that, and I did this with a flat in a video, but what if I took those different parts and I just kind of overlapped them just a tiny little bit, because it's that seam allowance that deforms it, right? What if I overlapped them just a little bit and came in with that fun decorative stitch to stitch these pieces together? Wouldn't that be cool? I could even use like a black thread at the top and get that stained glass look. Wouldn't that be something? So I thought that would be another project. Now, what if I also just took these and I just laid them on top of like a base fabric, right? And I could just come and stitch along that, and then literally that wouldn't deform at all, because I'm just putting the jigsaw puzzle pieces back together again. So here's the quilt that I did, and Cameron, we're going to be behind me, and it's Reach for the Stars. I don't think this video has come out yet, has it? Great and Powerful Oz? Okay. So anyway, and I encourage you guys that are living here, where you might feel like you're living here, the guys that are here to come up after, and you can see this. And I just did some extra stitching on top, and it adds that little sparkle, I think, that little extra something to the quilt that I wouldn't have before. So it makes my non-metallic fabric kind of metallic. This kind of right here, see?
So that's metallic.
That's metallic thread stitched right over the top of the piecing I did with the with the pieces. And then bring it over here. People at home probably didn't see this. So see how you I did this with a flat lock, but couldn't you like lay these pieces together and just do that decorative stitching over the top?
Absolutely.
And then you could use a black thread in there and make it look like a stained glass.
I think everybody that quilts needs this machine.
I think so too.
I'm going to mute it if I may. All right. So are we ready to give the last prize? Okay. So, and then what I want to do is we're going to round it up. And so get your placemounts ready. We're going to have you all come up here. And do you have anything else to show? We can go on for hours.
I know we could, but I think we're pretty good.
Okay. So one last out there. Don't forget to order your machines. We still have some available. $31.49 for one of these models that we opened up just for this event. free shipping across the country, interest-free payments. What else? Well, we've got that bonus kit, the feet, all 10 of those feet. You just gotta get it. I mean, now can you see why we don't want to call this a serger? It's really not a serger. It's such a, it crosses all the barriers of different types of sewing, quilting, and embroidery. I love it. All right, so we've got the last winner in store here, but also the last winner online. So YouTube, Ginny Drock,
Drot or Drot? D-R-O-T?
Fatima, help us out here. It's your writing. D-R-A-K. You have worse handwriting than I do.
But she's amazing on the computer.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, she is a master at that.
She
Okay,
lets
so
the computer
that was
do it.
on YouTube. Ginny D-R-A-K. You're a winner. Email customer service at moors-show.com. And then our last winner here locally. Can we bet who it might be?
I wonder who it could be.
You might know. Mary Johnson. Mary Johnson.
Mary!
Yes. Congratulations, Mary. All right, is everybody ready to bring up your sample? We want to get a shot, family shot. Can you come up here with your samples if you feel okay with it?
Hey, maybe Cameron could put up the thread play on the screen and we can be in front of that.
The thread play on the screen? What do you mean?
You know, the thread play,
Well,
the introductory.
Don't throw that in. We already talked about the shot here.
Okay.
He can't just snap and it happens.
Sure he can.
So we're gonna look that way. Come on up here.
Sorry, Cameron.
Oh, look at this.
Look at him.
Nice.
Now, if you're sideways, you're seeing it.
If you're sideways.
Oh, I like sideways and seeing.
There you go.
Do the see, we're looking about the
We're
cameras up
looking at
there.
the clock.
Come on up
We're
here.
looking at the clock. Come on.
Yeah, come on up
in,
here.
Come on in. Bring it in. Bring it on in.
Awesome.
Kind of. That's
So
it.
we can come over. Let's see where we're. Okay, good. He's adjusting. All right.
He's amazing.
So we can come over further this way. Right there. Right there. Okay.
Sideways.
All right. Happy people here. Look at this. So
So creative.
I will tell you, this is what it's all about. Okay. There is no reason why you need to sew today. It's a want. I think that these would all make wonderful gifts to give to people, and they were just thread playing. That's what it's all about. So can we get everybody, read it in there? Everybody will take their time to make sure we're all in here.
Turn a little bit sideways.
And stay tuned. And if we had a little music, we'd do a little dance, but that we're not going to. So the point is, stay tuned for more live events like this, simulcasts from Moors, and give us some comments how you like this here, because I've got some ideas about doing this so people can feel more part of the hands-on event. So again, order your machines, 1-800-865-9664, email customer service at moors-show.com. Kathy, thank you so much.
How do we end it? How do we end it?
How do we what?
How do we end the Moore's videos? We do bye for now.
Bye for now. Oh, wait, did I say that?
You always say that every time.
Bye for now. All right. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Yay!
All right.
You guys
Good
are
job,
awesome.